Rudd.
Here's Jones on a keeper. Out over the 40 to midfield. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
3-2 pitch. He struck him out. Got him looking. Hagen Smith has tied the school record with 17 strikeouts, but he's done it in 6 dominating innings. Peyton Holt in center field makes the catch. Runners don't try to score. Donay's coming home. He throws to third. Sprague Lott fires to the plate. They got him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, good morning and a happy Monday and a welcome in. It's halftime on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson with you on this beautiful sunny Monday morning. Matt Jones, my partner at our ESPN headquarters, and Christian Johnston, at least for the time being known as C Whiskey, is in the producer's chair. We appreciate one of our listeners dropping off some, you could call it a homemade whiskey, at C Whiskey's remote on Friday. Good morning, Matt Jones. We got our Super Bowl set up. We got our championship games yesterday. One of them was a wow, look at how that team performed, and the other was, my gosh, look at this game that we just got a chance to watch. And yeah, no real surprises, I guess. Even those who think that the NFL is rigged would not have any surprises from the AFC Championship game. Good to see it today. Looking good.
Happy Monday. Happy Monday. That's a fun weekend.
Yeah, it was. It was, well, unless you were watching Arkansas basketball. I don't know if that was really a fun game. That was a little bit of a, wasn't the prettiest thing. But championship games were good. I think we ought to have a really good Super Bowl. Chiefs fatigue. People have Chiefs fatigue. But I think every fan, shouldn't say everything. I think a lot of fans who aren't fans of the team of the moment, the dominant team of the moment, that's just what happens at this point. When you are, and I think the word you can use with the Chiefs, Matt, is inevitable. When you're inevitable and you prove yourself to be inevitable year after year, I think quite a lot of the fandom is going to be against you while also saying, my gosh, they're so good. Or they might be saying they get some help from the Stripes.
Well, I mean, you got to have great players. You got to make great plays. That's for sure. The consistency is what I would use for Kansas City. They're just so darn consistent. I think their last 16 one-score games, they've won them. And in the NFL, you don't have a lot of blowouts, so you're going to have a lot of, because there's a lot of parity, there's a lot of talent, there's a lot of good players on every team. But yeah, what they're doing is phenomenal. Saquon Barkley, he's running his way right into Canton. It's that's just a pitch at 9. That's a double readed play. You just, if you're trying to get the numbers on one side, everybody runs that. It's a basic pitch at 9 play that they ran to Saquon, and he just does the rest. It doesn't matter if you have 2 guys you can't block. He's going to make those 2 guys miss. He's playing on a different level right now.
Yeah, well, doesn't it feel like at least once per game, sometimes twice per game, there's a Saquon run that goes 50 plus. It's this Super Bowl. Look, I always go into a Super Bowl expecting that it's going to be a good game. I don't see how this isn't going to be a good game. You get a team in the Eagles that, even though you know how they're going to try to move the ball, they still are able to do it. Best running back in the sport right now. And man, I mean, there's something about the Chiefs when it comes down to, the moment that matters. And I think you're right, man. I mean, it's too much to point to the calls that the Chiefs get, because you have to be really good or great to be lucky. That means you got to take advantage of the calls that might go your way. And I think they did that yesterday. Although I will say the two calls that are in question, Worthy's reception inside the 5 in the first half that looked like it hit the ground, and then the 4th and 1 where I thought, look, I mean, I always think to myself, Matt, the officials are going to have the best view of anybody. And then when you go to the replay, there is no better view than that. So it's like you got to go, I guess, with with what they're saying. But I did think the ball might have been over the first down marker, which would have been like that to me was different than just like any other call that happens in the first half or maybe the third quarter, because that's the Bills' chance in the waning minutes of the game to get up by 2 scores. And you know, at that point, 2 scores with about 5 minutes left, 6 minutes left, that sometimes is as good as done. But I do agree with you in this case. Look, it's more about greatness, I think, than it is about, you know, the NFL script or the fix is in or anything, because you really have to be great to make 7 championship games in a row. And look, if the NFL was rigged, don't you think that they might actually try something different? If that's what people are screaming about, hey, we want something different. None of the Chiefs fans are saying that, mind you. We want something different. If they're going to give the fans what they want, well, don't you do something like that? Don't you actually, you know, go have a call that goes against the Chiefs? So I don't know. I'd never buy into the fixes in. I didn't agree with those 2 calls.
Man, what a heck of a play by Josh Allen to get that. They were. I don't know why you shorten your stance there as far as your alignment. You're split by the receiver, and you're giving that blitz a call. That's an easy call. It's kind of a check to almost on the defensive side. They cut down that split, and you're giving the corner. You're able to get to some type of corner blitz. But for Josh Allen to stand in the pocket, buy time, and then threw it to that tight end. I mean, you're a Division I athlete on scholarship. Now you're making millions of dollars playing in that. You got to catch that ball. I mean, that's one of those, be an athlete and catch the right. That was easier than your boy Mark Andrews' catch.
That's right. When it comes down to it, the drops end up becoming one of the plays that you remember.
And then the Redskins just kept turning the ball over early. I don't see how you can turn the ball over twice in the first half and think you're going to beat the Eagles.
Well, especially against an offense that's clicking the way that the Eagles are. So, you know, it's how do listeners feel about this Super Bowl? Are you excited about it? I mean, I'm excited about it because I think you're going to see a high-level game. You probably would have seen a high-level game of the Commanders and the Bills anyway. You know, a rematch of a game that was pretty good a couple of years ago. I'm all for rematches and the idea that you get some rivalries from this. And who knows, maybe the Chiefs actually lose a Super Bowl this time, though it does feel – I mean, Matt, for me, the word is inevitable. They just feel inevitable. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a tight game or if it's, you know, a game that might get out of hand or whatever, but if they got to win a ball game, there's nobody that does it any better right now than the Kansas City Chiefs. And that's in any sport. That's in all of them. You know, it's the pressure's on. You get 3/4 of the country that are rooting against you. You get a team that was outstanding all year long in the Bills, and they just take their best shot, find a way to win anyway. And, you know, I've never seen a team play 3 Super Bowls in a row. I don't think anybody has. I don't think you've had a team make 3 NFL championship games in a row, even the pre-Super Bowl days since, I don't know, maybe the Packers of the 60s might have done it. I think the Packers did it twice. So maybe the best way to look at this is watching greatness as it unfolds in front of you. You know, it's like I was born during the Steelers run in the 70s. Got a chance to watch the Niners of the 80s. And that's why when I think of like the best quarterback in my eyes of all time, I still have trouble going against Joe Montana because I grew up watching him win every single game that they needed to win and the 4 Super Bowls. That's what you're watching right now. I mean, it's the way that my kids are going to talk about Mahomes and about the Chiefs. I wish they were going to talk about the Steelers like that, but they won't. So, you know, for sports fans, I guess you just have to, well, I don't want to tell you how to think about this, but I think we can appreciate greatness while it's happening. And that's what it is. Even if you're going to point to officials and referees of a reason why the Chiefs are winning and make it to a Super Bowl, hey, I don't think that's the only reason. I think it's greatness. I'm going to try to appreciate it while I can. Because you don't look, not every Super Bowl team, not every Super Bowl champion is truly great over the course of 5 to 7 years like this. So it's inevitable, man. I feel like maybe it's just worth celebrating. Not celebrating, but appreciating.
Well, they're going to earn it because Philadelphia has the number one defense in the world right now. They're the number one defense. That defense is real. That's the best defense you'll see in football right now. And they have the number one running game in the game. So those two things right there, if it would be like saying you have the best pitching in baseball with the best defense. You're just like now you got to come beat us. I think it's going to be. I actually like the Eagles in this one to kind of stop the three-peat.
Well, I haven't checked my BetShares app to see what they think of it yet, but I'll give that a shot. Yes, I remember the Bills made 4 Super Bowls in a row. I think I just didn't describe it very well. I mean, like the champions making it 3 years in a row, because that's never happened. You had a couple of teams that might have had a chance to do it, but they didn't do it. And man, I mean, I want to feel the same way you do, Matt. It's like I should have picked the Chiefs when we had our picks on Friday, just because that's how I've been talking. I'll believe it when I see it. But it's like, I don't have anything against Kansas City. I'm not like an anti-Chief. But I did want to see something different. I wanted to see the city of Buffalo, actually get there again for the first time in 30 years, 31 years, and maybe win the darn thing too. But look, the officials didn't win the game for the Chiefs. Even if Buffalo would have converted that 4th down, they still had a good chunk of the field to go. Who knows what would have happened there? And you still have to make plays after officials might make calls that you disagree with. And that's just sports. That's in all of it. Pitchers have to find a way to bounce back after what they thought was strike 3 was called ball 3. Basketball players have to find a way to cope and move on when they think they were fouled on a fast break and you get no call. I mean, bad calls are a part of sports. It just is. And they always will be, even with video-assisted review. That's just how it is. Here's what's halftime. Here's how it is on a Monday. We'll have Connor O'Gara with us in hour number 3 to look around college football, and we'll have Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smiles in about an hour for our weekly 3 Up, 3 Down. Mike Irwin at the bottom of the hour from Pig Trail Nation. And lots of time for your calls and texts as we go throughout the show up until 2 o'clock today. It's 877-377-6963. More halftime right after this break.
Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
This is Halftime. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
No, that's the greatest joys in life is when you get something awesome you don't expect. That's the greatest joys in life.
Like unplanned pregnancies. Those are joys.
That really wasn't what I was. No, I wasn't really going down that.
That's what I was thinking.
What am I going to do with you? Turn his mic off. Just turn his mic off. Just turn it off. I said turn it off. Who's the boss around here? Turn it off.
Weekdays from 9 to 11, only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
The Capital One pre-approval sale has been extended at Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. Troy, the weather a few weeks ago kind of derailed the sale, but you've got it extended now through the end of the month.
Yes, Capital One was nice enough, man. They worked with us, and they extended this sale until the end of this month, the 31st, which is on a Friday. So come and see us, Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford. We pride ourselves in the prices and the deals that we give our customers. We want to make sure you get the best deal on a car, not just with us, not just with the price of the car, but the best deal with the bank that you finance with. And with Capital One giving us this pre-approval sale and allowing us to extend it, you don't just get the best price on the car, but you get the best financing on the car too. So come and see us and let us get you the best deal on a new Ford.
It's the Capital One pre-approval sale only at Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. Come and see all the details right here. You can always see the inventory online at harryrobinson.com.
The Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Neumeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Neumeier family.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
Folks, it's that time of year again.
Mom, what's he talking about?
Matt, I have no idea.
It's hoop time, and in about a month, it's going to be baseball season.
And the Stadium Shop has everything you need.
Whether it's decorating your fan cave or getting something to wear for the game, we have what you need.
We even have Nike basketball jerseys, sideline apparel, even brands like Cutter and Buck and Champion.
Or how about something from Tommy Bahama or Coliseum for those Hawaiian shirt Sundays?
Guys, Nike baseball team hats and jerseys will get here about the 1st of February. Hey, Matt, do you know what's blue but doesn't weigh very much?
No, what?
Light blue.
Mom, please help.
Matt, there's no cure for a dad joke.
Folks, come by the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum-Walker Stadium, or shop us on them Insta WW book.
Dad,
Ram,
it's
Facebook.
the website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561. Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Hi, this is Truett Tollett with WT Equipment. We're here to help you get ready for the year ahead. Take advantage of our small engine shop special. Just $129 to service your mower or handheld equipment, any brand. Don't wait, this offer ends February 28th. While you're here, check out New Holland Tractors, Bobcat Equipment, and more. Tough, reliable, and ready to work as hard as you do. Visit any of our locations or online at WTEquip.com. WT Equipment. Equip your future. Elevate your potential.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Tell me, do you think of me like I think of you? Night after night, to do, no to fight. Now you're coming far away, far away.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
We'll right to the phones here to start the segment. Jim called us a couple minutes ago. Got Mike Irwin, Pig Trail Nation, about 10 minutes. Jim, thanks for calling. What's going on?
Well, I have a question about football and players opting out of bowl games.
Okay.
I saw in last week's paper, Orlando Jackson is going to play in the Senior Bowl. I think it was the Senior Bowl. and he opted out of the Razorbacks bowl game because of preparing for the NFL draft. And I realize the Senior Bowl is a little bit different, but is it really? I mean, he had a chance to shine for us in the bowl game, and just as much as he has a chance to shine in the Senior Bowl, or fall flat on his face.
Jim, I understand the question and the concern about that, because you figure, football is football, and you can hurt yourself in a bowl game. You can hurt yourself in a Senior Bowl too. I don't, Matt, you played in the Senior Bowl coming out of Arkansas?
The Senior Bowl, what you do is the two coaching staffs will be the last place teams in the NFL. They get the first opportunity to go do the Senior Bowl. We had John Gruden was our coach. We had Cadillac Williams, Kyle Shanahan, and it's going up against talented guys, a lot of guys. It's a litmus test. It's a measuring stick, because it's really a week of practice with all guys that have been. You got to be invited. It's invitation only, so it's people that are trying to get drafted. It's a great place to go. I would advise every player that's not the number one overall pick. If you get invited to the Senior Bowl, I'd say you go.
The thing about this too, Jim, it's like it feels to me the Senior Bowl is maybe the start of the process of getting ready for the combine and then the draft, where the bowl game is just like the end of the season you just played, and not everybody's going to be going into the draft or eligible for the draft in that bowl game. So did that answer your question properly?
And Matt's perspective is the one that I hadn't really thought of. But my question may be even related back to the NIL thing. And if the players are getting the NIL money, why don't you require them to play in the bowl game?
Was there Matt? Was there a stipend, or did you get? Was there any pay for playing in the Senior Bowl? Or
I played in a different time period, Phil.
Yeah. I wonder if that's a part of it now, because it is televised. I mean, there are ads sold. It is an organization that makes money through this game that they play in Mobile. So I do wonder now if players are getting paid for NIL purposes through the regular season, through their school or through their collectives. Maybe the seniors that are part of the Senior Bowl also could get paid, because, well, why wouldn't they in that case? But they're not all of them are about to get paid, right? Not all of them are about to get drafted.
That's right. Okay, well, thank you for listening to me.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the question, Jim. I think it's a legitimate question. I had forgotten that Landon was going to take part in the Senior Bowl. I think I saw Isaac Tesla also will play in the Senior Bowl. He played in the bowl game too. But these are not like what was playing in that game like, Matt? Was that were guys coming after you like it felt like a regular season game, or was there something a little bit different about it?
You're like a hockey team. You're going out in waves. The game, you're only playing, if everybody's running 60 plays, you're only playing 20 plays, and then it's next group up. It's like open gym. It'd be like what do they do? The NBA Summer League in Vegas. It's just something. It's just a way for everybody to congregate in a way, and you're always measuring. You're being evaluated. It's a good week.
It's like the start of the. Did you worry about the score? That's what I think about in this case. When it comes to a game you're playing for your school, you got to play to the score. That's what matters in the end. But you're also, as we've talked about so often, you're playing for the eyes that are watching you, and for your own pride, but also for the scouts. And if you think that you've got a future in football, well, it doesn't matter what the score is. You better play hard and you better give your all. Senior Bowl, I don't know if the score matters all that much, but I think you certainly need to be playing hard. It's this Saturday also at Hancock Whitney Stadium in Mobile, Alabama. So the question from Jim about the Senior Bowl, and it wasn't about basketball. And nobody's really bringing up basketball just yet. 877-377-6963. Because I wondered, that was the question I was going to ask coming in here. Where are you with basketball season now? We're about to enter the month of February. So I think we played all our games this month. Maybe one more. No, that's it. You played all your games. One more, the middle of the week. That's right. It's not like it's about to get any easier. I mean, you get Kentucky, Texas, Alabama over the next 3. Texas isn't great, but it's on the road, and it's a team that is coming off a dramatic victory against A&M. That was not a pretty game on Saturday night, Matt. I'll be honest about it. I was watching it in my room in Lexington. We had a morning game, yesterday. That was yesterday, right? Sunday was yesterday. I'm starting to forget what day it is. So I was a little bit tired, and that game kind of, I don't know. I mean, it almost lulled me to sleep at times. Just two teams that are a little bit challenged offensively, but I think that's the kind of game that Arkansas needs to play in order to win. It's just don't commit fouls on 3-point shots late in the game when you're up. That was a tough one to watch. What'd you think of Arkansas's loss against Oklahoma?
Well, your boy Nelly Davis has a green light. That's for sure. I like his defensive game. It's like, it's a car crash. Do you even want to look at it? I mean, there's nothing to talk about. It's a very bad team. It's not good. That they're not going to get any better. There's nothing. I don't want to say anything because there's nothing, man. It's a bad basketball team. Coach Cal missed. Let's just put it that way. We missed, and they didn't get it they didn't get it right this year. It's like that Gene Hackman movie called Heist. He pulled a heist on us this year. Maybe they'll get it right next year.
There's a heist on himself too. Well,
no, he got paid.
That money went through. That's right. You're right. Yeah, but a losing record on his career, man. I don't think there have been many of those. So I mean, it's not like you're taking any money from Cal because of that, but it'll look a little bit different on the career when you see that the last team that Cal had that had more losses than wins was coming out of the pandemic with Kentucky, of course. That was 9-16. That's only the second losing team he's had in his career. The first one was the first team he had at UMass, the team that started 0-5 in conference. So, 12-8 right now. I don't know if you finish the season with a winning record because I'm kind of trying to think about where some of the wins come from now. And it's not to look ahead and say you need this many wins for an NCAA appearance, because right now I'm just worried about what it'll look like on Saturday at Kentucky.
Hey, I like number 11. If we're talking about next year, you're talking about this year. It's nothing's good. 9 hasn't done what he's supposed to do. 1 hasn't done what he's supposed to do. You get an injured. 40. There's nothing really to talk about. But if you're talking about next year, I like Carter Knox. I think he can be an all-SEC player next year. I really do.
Well, that's a good thing to take into the break then. Carter Knox is fun to watch on a team that's been really, really frustrating to watch. So we'll leave it there for the time being. And Mike Irwin's coming up in just a moment. Always brought to you by the Stadium Shop. Our friends Robert, Elizabeth, and Matt, they are local, they're family, they're alumni, and they've owned and operated the Stadium Shop for a long, long time. They're right next to Baum-Walker Stadium. Getting set for baseball season. They got everything you need at the Stadium Shop. They got the flags, they got the hats, they got the chairs that you want in the hog pen. It just doesn't get any more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. 479-STADIUM is the phone number. They're online at shoponrazorback.com. Make sure they know ESPN Arkansas sent you. Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation joining halftime for a bit right after this break.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. This is halftime.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
When Second's making a play, Short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle. Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4.
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Like real good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas. More than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball to NHL and UFC. Head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Eat Lux your way with the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. The $5 Classic box is iconic all over. The $7 Supreme box has your decadent favorites and then some. The $9 Discovery box introduces you to your newest obsession, like cheesy dipping burritos. Introducing the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu. Only at Taco Bell.
Thanks for
What's going down? There's battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds are getting so much resistance from behind. Every time we stop, hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Singing songs and carrying signs.
All right, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 texts in the last segment of folks that are just moving over past basketball and are ready for whatever is next. Baseball still doesn't start for a little less than 3 weeks. So what is it you're going to, in terms of Razorback sports, you're going to cover yourself up with? We got Mike Irwin here, Pig Trail Nation, to talk about this. Now, Mike, you're not in a position where you can just like stop watching the basketball games or stop analyzing it or anything, because that's your job. That's our job too. But look, if you were to make some sort of a decision, you know what, I am going to take a mulligan for the rest of the season and stop watching, I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah, I would still hope that fans that have season tickets would still come out. I mean, they still need you to show up. They had a good crowd, for the Oklahoma game. If they had gone 2-0 last week, there would be some hope. I think after the win over Georgia, Cal talked about it, we can write our own story here. But that would require a major bounce back, and when you win one and lose one, you're at a point where you probably lost too many games. So I think NIT is the best they can do. I would encourage them to do that. Some people would say, well, why play in that thing? I think it's good for your returning players to be in a tournament of sorts. But, yeah, I mean, if you're just a fan that watches on TV and it makes you mad, don't watch it. Baseball's right around the corner. They've had their first 3 workouts in very cold weather, but, I like what Dave Van Horn did. He had his starters against the others. And the first game was fairly close, but it was really good pitching. I think it showed what pitching they have. And then, I don't know what happened on Sunday. I didn't look, but Saturday there was a blowout. And so, I mean, they look good, but watching preseason games is always frustrating. I don't care what sport you're talking about. Until you're playing somebody else, you don't know for sure. And, I mean, I think a lot of people have their fingers crossed. They don't want baseball to turn out not to be what they think it's going to be.
Where is the disconnect? What is, because it seems like these players like each other. It doesn't seem like we don't play that sloppy. What is the missing piece to this Razorback basketball team?
Well, they have no consistency. I think that's true of most teams that were young. The players that have the ball in their hands the most are all younger guys. There's a couple of positives that came out of last week. I think, first of all, Nelly Davis finally started hitting some shots. Now, he still missed way too many. But he looks like the more they're playing him, the more comfortable he's getting. And so he played better, although he kind of messed up that last second situation, the way it was drawn up. But he's playing better, so that's encouraging. But the best thing, I think, is Big Z, because he's really starting to come around. He still, looks like he needs more seasoning, but, I mean, he's scoring, he's blocking shots, he's playing better defense. The depressing part is it looks like the other 2 bigs are just doing nothing. I mean, what is going on with I mean, I can't even figure out what Jonas Adu is doing. He's either still hurt, and I've got somebody telling me that he's just not full speed, that he's quicker than that. If you'd watched him last year, you could see that he's quicker defensively. He's more aggressive toward the basket and scoring, and he's not. So maybe there's still a problem there. Or the other theory is that he's like a guy that got invited to a party and he's sitting there going, I wish I hadn't come to this party. I'm bored. So it's one or the other. So those are the bad things. Brazil, he doesn't help. I mean, Big Z played as much as those other 2 guys combined. And he actually scored points and got rebounds and blocked shots, and they didn't. So, I don't know. He looks like the guy moving forward. Now, you have to ask yourself, what does that mean for next year? I mean, I've been told there's no freshman still out there that could come in and really do a job inside. So, you got to go to the portal. Well, the portal may be reduced by the time we get to April or May. So then, if you can't find what you need in the portal, you got to go back overseas. And if you go overseas to get bigs, what happens? It takes them about a year to kind of learn the U.S. game. So I don't know. That part of it doesn't look good to me. But I think Cal will end up going back to, because of revenue sharing, he's going to end up going back to what he knows, which is bringing in really talented, top-rated freshmen with the idea that they can be one and done, and one and done is less of a thing right now. It's not what it was a few years ago. But if you can recruit based on that, then you can get really good young players and then see what you can do with them and figure out a way to surround them with older players with more experience.
So many people text in or even, reading on people's stories about it, and they feel that the current, the contemporary form of college basketball has passed Cal by. So, and I think when you think of contemporary college sports, it's all about transfer portal and the NIL. And the one and done thing was something from a previous era. Of course, we lived through that era too. Do you really think that going back to that way in a sport that has gotten older and more physical, that actually could lead back to where like Kentucky was when the one and done was getting them to the Final Four and winning a national championship? It doesn't feel like today's era of college basketball is built for that. I think Cal knew that too coming in, but I can understand what you're saying. It's like, I don't know if this is a cautionary tale about the transfer portal or it's just you missed on a couple of the guys that literally nobody in the nation thought you were missing on.
Right. And what the average fan out there still, I get into arguments with people like this about this on Twitter because they don't accept what's going on. But under the revenue sharing plan, portal activity is going to be reduced. These portal going in and grabbing players away from some other team is going to be much more difficult. So we will, in some respects, move back to where we were a few years ago. The issue is, yes, one and dones are less common in the NBA. So what Cal will have to be doing is he's not bringing in guys saying, hey, come in here in 1 year, I'll have you in the NBA. But he still has the reputation of getting players to the NBA. And if it takes 2 years, then it takes 2 years. But I still think this guy can recruit high school kids. And he has said that he knows he has to surround them with older players. So that leaves him with developing the other guys that he has. In other words, bringing in a DJ Wagner, a guy of that capability, and keeping him for 3 seasons and having him be around some of these younger players that he's bringing in. So he'll have to adapt. But Cal has said he expects to have to do that.
Sorry, you brought up. Go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
Well, Wagner would be a guy, you bring up his name. When you look at this roster then and the way you're talking, because I can dig it. So who are we bringing back? Who are the guys? Carter Knox would be one. Wagner would be another one. You brought his name up. Who else?
Billy Richmond.
You would bring Billy Richmond back? A Big Z?
Big Z. And here's the thing. But we don't know what's going to happen with them. What if they want to transfer? That's the disaster. You've got to keep some of those guys because you've got to have older guys around. We see moments. This is what's wrong with this team. They did, let's go back to that game the other night, the Oklahoma game. I think it was around the 8-minute mark. They got a 6-point lead. And you're thinking, wow, okay, if they make a move here, they win this game. But I also said to myself, how long does this momentum last? You know how long it lasted? Oklahoma came down. A guy put up a 3 and missed it, and Arkansas rebounded it, but guess what? Z fouled him. So he bailed him out, and he made all 3 of those. And yes, on the replay, he did foul the guy. He got careless. So then Arkansas gets in a hurry, goes down the floor too fast, turns the ball over, or I don't know, they didn't score, I know that. I think it was a turnover. And so Oklahoma comes back down, and now John L. Davis fouls a guy that misses a 3, and you rebounded the 3, but you bailed him out. And he makes those 3, and now the game is tied. And it happened in about a minute. You went from a 6-point lead to it being tied on 2 basic mistakes. And that's what happens with these guys. They play really well, and it looks good, and then all of a sudden you go, uh-oh, something bad's got to happen sooner or later. And it does, because they're too inexperienced.
You know that there will be fans that are just college basketball fans that will point to this Razorback team as the cautionary tale of what they view as college basketball free agency. And I remember talking about the exact same idea in football, and the idea that, hey, the team that wins the offseason a lot is not the team that ends up winning in the regular season. Turns out this was different this year with Ohio State.
Well, you had Ohio State and Ole Miss. One of them won it. Those were your 2 teams. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's all. It's like here's the thing: you never know about. And you can research all you want about these players. You can get face to face with them. They might be really good people, really good teammates. Chemistry is just a really difficult thing to figure out sometimes. And maybe it's not a matter of chemistry. Maybe it's a matter of health with these guys. But it's like you're saying, they seem to get along and all of that. And maybe I'd like it if they weren't getting along because you wouldn't be so comfortable with losing.
Guys, again, my party analogy. I remember being in college and getting invited to a party that a guy I knew, and I thought, man, this guy's cool. This party's going to be good. And you get there and you're like, oh, golly, this is awful. I got to get out of here. You just don't fit in. You think you're going to, and you don't. I mean, and that's what being a part of a different team is. There's no guarantee that you're going to fit in with the coaching staff, not just the head coach, but the other coaches, with the other players. And so it is. It's a very dicey thing. And I think Ole Miss found out they spent $20 million to go to the Gator Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not a guarantee.
I like how you put it.
I had that feeling to all the parties, Mike. So not just one of them.
See, that's what I was thinking. It's like you wanted to be. You know how many fans are making an Irish goodbye from this basketball party right now? They're not even saying goodbye. They're just walking out the door. They're not even hiding it. They're just going.
I know, and I don't like it, and that's what revenue guys look. People are saying they're very skeptical about this revenue sharing, but they don't understand what's going on. There are a handful of fan bases and coaches, Ole Miss is one of them, Tennessee's another, that they think it's perfectly fine to just spend wads of money to win a championship. But most fans and most coaches don't look at it that way. They want to win titles and win games by having good players that you develop and stay at a school and proud to put that uniform on of that school, and the fans relate to them. That's the old way of doing it, and they want that old way to come back. And there's way more of them than there are of these other coaches, and I'm telling you, behind the scenes, they're saying, we've had enough. This has to change. We have to go, because we're losing the fans, but we don't like it either. And honestly, I don't think a lot of the players like it. They kind of got thrown in their faces, and it's like anything else. If somebody goes, well, this guy took the money, I guess I'll take the money, I guess I'll leave. But maybe they don't really want to. They just kind of, look at the age, that 19, 20-year-old kids. I mean, I had a lot of things when I was that age that later on I thought to myself, I wish I hadn't done that. So let's get it back to the way it was as close as possible. Players are going to get paid. They're going to have they're going to go to college. They're going to get a scholarship. They're going to get a degree. They're going to have spending money like they never had before. But forget about this crap of somebody getting $10 million because you failed at a quarterback at one school and didn't get them to the national championship game. But, gee, this other school wants you, and they'll pay you $10 million. That's nuts.
Mike, let's leave it there. Appreciate you coming on. Looking forward to another visit next Monday. Have a great week.
Okay. See you guys.
Mike Irwin, Pig Trail Nation. Who do you think he was talking about there? Must have been a guy that's going to be taking over the Miami Hurricanes. Yeah, it must be Carson Beck that he's talking about. There's an instance of somebody that would not be, without the current iteration of college sports,
I saw
that 6th-round pick, 5th-round pick, sit around camp for a while.
I saw that Tate, the third receiver on Ohio State's team, was offered 1.5, and then the number one receiver in the country was offered 4.5. So that was for
Smith.
A receiver. Yeah, the number one receiver at Ohio State, and who knows if it's true, it was on the internet, but it said he was offered, it was an ESPN deal, and that Tate, their third guy, because Ibuka, he's going to go to the pro, he's going to play on Sunday, so their third guy that moved, he's offered one. That's for a receiver. A receiver was offered 1.5.
How much you want to think that one of those offers might have come from Michigan, since they,
You saw what Penn State just did.
That's right.
Jimmy Franklin said we're not playing anymore.
$3.1 million for a defensive coordinator in college. Does
Caleb Downs come with him? I mean, I need that safety to come with him.
Good for Bart on Chuck and Bo for actually figuring this out, because I didn't realize. He's making more than any coordinator in the NFL. Let's come back here after the break. We'll wrap up hour number 1.
You ain't heard nothing. Wait a minute, I tell you. You ain't heard nothing.
This is halftime.
The Capital One pre-approval sale has been extended at Harry Robinson, Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal. Troy, the weather a few weeks ago kind of derailed the sale, but you've got it extended now through the end of the month.
Yes, Capital One was nice enough, man. They worked with us, and they extended this sale until the end of this month, the 31st, which is on a Friday. So come and see us, Harry Robinson, Salisal Ford. You know, we pride ourselves in the prices and the deals that we give our customers. You know, we want to make sure you get the best deal on a car, not just with us, not just with the price of the car, but the best deal with the bank that you finance with. And with Capital One giving us this pre-approval sale and allowing us to extend it, you don't just get the best price on the car, but you get the best financing on the car too. So come and see us and let us get you the best deal on a new Ford.
It's the Capital One pre-approval sale only at Harry Robinson, Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal. Come and see all the details right here. You can always see the inventory online at harryrobinson.com.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
It's time to start the year strong at Heartland Honda Power Sports and Marine. Don't miss our first huge sale in 2025, featuring unbeatable discounts and exclusive incentives on many of your favorite Honda rides, like Honda Ranchers, Honda Pioneers, and Honda Goldwing, plus so much more. Whether you're tackling trails or cruising in style, we've got the perfect ride for you. Visit Heartland Honda in Springdale today and make 2025 your best year yet. Heartland Honda, work hard, play hard. For your safety, read the owner's manual, wear a helmet, eye protection, close side nets and doors, and always wear seatbelts. Honda ATVs side-by-sides are 16 years and older.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you in the market for a new office printer or multifunction device? Look no further. At Dixie Digital Imaging, we bring a legacy of experience and a rock-solid reputation. Our state-of-the-art solutions are tailored to meet your business needs seamlessly. Why settle for anything less? Call us now at 479-783-6600 to get a quote on your next office printer or multifunction device. Elevate your office efficiency with Dixie Digital Imaging, where experience and reputation meet excellence. That's Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
We ask that you visit hitthatline.com sometime soon and donate to the Arkansas Children's Northwest Magic and Miracles Radiothon. It'll be taking place Friday, February 21st. All of our shows will be on location, broadcasting live. We are helping raise funds and support for Arkansas Children's Northwest's next round of expansion at hitthatline.com right now. And we thank Schlotzsky's for being the presenting sponsor for halftime. Schlotzsky's is a mouthful, and it's the perfect partner for your event catering needs. We're going into the break about this $3.1 million for 3 years. So it's a $9.3 million contract, Matt, for Jim Knowles to leave Ohio State and go to Penn State. And Penn State was battling with Oklahoma for Knowles' services. He'd been at Oklahoma State previously. I think some folks expected in Oklahoma that he would be the Sooners' next DC. And I think that may be a reason why the salary jumped up as much as it is. There might have been a bidding war for his services. But it's just like you're saying, you know, a lot of cases, the head coach comes with some players when he moves from one place to the next. What about the coordinator in this case? I doubt Caleb Downs is going to Happy Valley.
Oof, man, that dude! I couldn't believe he had another year of eligibility left. What a pickup! I mean, you know, Notre Dame. We talked, the way too early picks. I said no. I thought Notre Dame would definitely be in the playoff 12 next year. I'm going to change it to Penn State. I think Penn State. They got your quarterback coming back. You got the two best running backs as far as that will be on the same team. Both of them went over 1,000 yards last year. The way they're trying to play, I think Penn State that would be. And then the Notre Dame defensive coordinator, he jumped. Where did he go to the Bengals?
That's right, Al Golden to the Bengals, and I think they've lost 3 offensive linemen to the portal too. By the way, the highest paid coordinators in the NFL: the Ravens, Todd Monken. The Giants, Mike Kafka, both made $3 million.
He's another guy that's just getting paid for regular season success. He doesn't have to play in the bowl games either.
Monken?
Well, he put him with Lamar Jackson on the same milk carton. It's like forget how to call plays when you get to the playoffs.
Well, they both made $3 million last year.
No, they're both really amazing at their job. It's just you're measured on what you do in the postseason.
That's the same with Joe Brady with Buffalo. I mean, an outstanding job, but the tush push did not work out. Certainly looked like the Chiefs knew what side of the line they needed to end up with there. And hey, you could also say that maybe Allen did get that first down on the last tush push. I thought he did. I thought the ball got over the first down marker. But what do I know? I'm just sitting at home watching television, eating a burger. Hour number 2 of halftime is coming up. Stay with us.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cabe, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
Looking to upgrade your boat? Now's the time with Honda Marine Buyer's Choice Sales Event. Choose up to $2,000 in instant savings or a 36-month Honda Care Protection Plan. That's extra coverage worth up to $44.60 included at no extra cost. This offer applies to all new 40 to 350 horsepower Honda Marine outboards now through March 31st, 2025. Don't miss this limited time deal at Heartland Honda Power Sports Marine in Springdale. Save big or get extra peace of mind. The choice is yours. Visit Heartland Honda Power Sports Marine today. Exit 72 from I-49 just north of Cracker Barrel.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
A new era of chicken is here to stay, and it's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina Chicken menu from Taco Bell is slow roasted and perfectly seasoned. Take it tacoed up in a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, or wrapped in a burrito with fresh purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. However you like it, you'll never chicken the same way again. Get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell and join rewards to earn free food. Available at participating stores. Rewards points are earned on qualifying purchases. All items while supplies last. Subject to terms.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our high this afternoon in the upper 40s to lower 50s. It'll be clear and cold tonight, and overnight low in the low 30s. Sunshine on Tuesday, a high in the upper 50s to near 60 on Wednesday. Chance of a few scattered showers south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
You sound like a participation trophy, Dad.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that will respect you. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Take it to the house.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
But they were one Razorback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Turn it.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back. Sun's still shining. It's still Monday, but now it's the afternoon, 1 minute after 12. And welcome back in. You're listening to Halftime on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson, my partner Matt Jones, and Christian Johnston in the producer's chair. We'll be doing 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett in about 10, 15 minutes or so. C-Unit, the whiskey that was brought to you by our listener the other day, did you try any of it over the weekend?
No, we just tried it now.
We just tried it. Me, 45, and in the unit.
So, does it hurt? It's just a tiny little bit, by the way, for those who are out there.
Let's just say I can feel it. Like I feel energized. I'm ready to go, man.
You know, I didn't even realize you guys may have tried it, but the way that I heard Sea Whiskey breathe into the microphone as I came back from the open of the show, I could tell something happened. Because he was a little bit out of breath, almost like he had to stop himself from throwing up potentially.
Man,
it's a little sour mash. It's pretty good. You have to tell the human that brought it. That's pretty cool.
Well, that is always going to be
it's
highly respected and very well appreciated.
I bet he's listening right now.
I think we're it's Unit's whiskey, but I think we decided it's going to be work whiskey. Maybe golden hour whiskey every once in a while. You have one or two. I mean,
or Hog Reaction post game show whiskey at 11:30 at night.
There you go. That's good. Watching bad basketball and drinking whiskey that'll really help you do good. Yeah.
When we first started doing this show in 2018, who was the football coach then? You know what was going on. I think it was the Ole Miss game from that year. Was that the game where it was all wet and rainy and
we made Ole Miss like it?
No, I think Ole Miss. Ole Miss really just did like it coming in because they won the game.
Oh.
Yeah, they didn't win any SEC games under Morris, but I remember I hosted Hog Reaction. Well, no, I didn't host Hog Reaction. John Neighbors did. He was still doing the morning show, and he came over to my apartment in order to host it. And we're like, you know what? I mean, come on. The game kicked off at like 7:30. It was 12 midnight. We just saw them choke on a lead in the second half, and we're soaking wet. That was on-air whiskey, but it was post-midnight, so I was perfectly fine with it. I'm glad you guys got a taste of that. Now, if I tried that,
it's better than grape nuts, a lot better.
You want to mix it in with the grape nuts, see if it helps the flavor?
It can't hurt it.
How much of that stuff do you have left, by the way?
About how much when I started.
You failed.
I did. I can't.
Man, I mean, Matt, what are we doing here with our producer? Because he forgot. He didn't even, the first assignment last year were the Beatles. It took 3 more tries a year from then to actually get him to remember the Beatles' names. Now he's not even going to come close to finishing the box of very healthy, digestible, fibrous cereal. So I don't even know what to do next.
I'll take an L on that.
You take an F is what you're going to take.
I'll take my L.
You got to watch the movie Layer Cake this week.
It was Joel in Fort Smith who just texted in. He's the one who brought over the whiskey to you. He did warn you that it is 100 proof. So that's a little more than your usual 80 proof.
And I feel it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he had a couple of glasses after the Oklahoma loss. Yeah, it was a late night, so why not? And hey, the next game is in Kentucky. That's where I was over the weekend. I had a little bourbon in Lexington, so these things end up going together. I sat there with So I'm up at the bar by myself. I'm watching Duke and Wake Forest, having a drink and enjoying a lovely meal. And this couple sits next to me. They look like they're in their 70s, and the gentleman was really angry. His wife is having a drink, and she looks at me and she says, "It's tough to be with him when the Cats lose." They had just lost their game to Vanderbilt, and he needed a couple of drinks to have it wash over. So then I end up, of course, spark up the conversation. I didn't have any of my Razorback stuff on, so he didn't know that I'm, either a fan or part of the programs. And I asked a couple of those questions. So what did you think about Cal leaving? Was it time? He was ready for him to leave. What do you think about him coming out this Saturday with the team? And what do you think is going to be like? He said he was fired up and excited about it. He planned on being there. He wasn't going to boo, though. He wasn't going to boo. I think Saturday will be a very, very interesting day. Certainly for Arkansas basketball, for all the fans in Kentucky Blue that'll be showing up, and probably no more so than anybody than John Calipari. Going to be quite different. Let's go to Charlie, who's called us here on our hotline. Good afternoon, Charlie. How are you on a Monday?
Well, Phil, as good as that sounded right there, I need some sea whiskey myself, man. It's wow.
You sound seriously depressed, Charlie. I know you well enough. We're like family members now. I mean, something sounds wrong.
You got it. You can hear it in my voice, Phil. But I can change really quickly, if I start getting fired up here. So I'm going to try to hold this in. I probably need some of that whiskey over there. You guys save some of that for the old tuna, because once he gets to going, he don't know what's going to come out. No, I'm just kidding. But I will say, Christian, you saw what I posted on Facebook. I said this tastes like whenever they hired old Schottenheimer.
That's all you need to hear is Schottenheimer, and the next thing you know, the line just dies.
Schottenheimer's going to make me want to take a shot. Is what he's wanting.
That was not one that. So I should say it's not one that I expected, Matt. But I remember going into the search after the we can't agree on a contract with Mike McCarthy. Well, Jerry only hires Super Bowl winning coaches he's had a history with, national championship college coaches that he's got friendships with, or coordinators on his current staff. And he went with a coordinator with his current staff, somebody that he can hold sway over. I don't know a single Cowboys fan that is happy about this hire. And I don't think Charlie was either, because I think that's why his phone died on him. I'll try him again. Charlie, is it working now? You said the magic word. It's Schottenheimer. I guess that means cell phone conversations end with that last name.
It must mean that. So yeah, for sure. Look, it is what it is with that. I'm not surprised that's where they went, Phil. Once it started coming out that that's what they were going to do, are you surprised? Why would we hire Dion, right? Why would we do that? We wouldn't want to hire someone that, Mike could help change the culture.
No.
and
Put it in the other
possibly-
direction, Charlie. Why would Dion take that job? Why would
Exactly.
That's the thing. It's not a matter of why would you go hire somebody. Why would somebody want to work for Jerry, knowing that he's going to
Exactly. Not let you have control, not let you have the staff you want, because we're not going to pay your assistants, and we're hiring all these. It is what it is in Dallas. I feel sorry for the players, because what can you say as a player? I mean, this guy's signing your check, right? I mean, there's only so much you can say. But I do love how Michael Irvin, for the first time, I swear, came out and threw a fit the other day.
He nailed it.
I swear and that was the first time I've heard that from him, because Troy's been kind of throwing a few things in there for years. And that was the first time I ever heard 88 come out and really go at him. But, oh, my God, the world's going to end for him, I mean, it is what it is. I think that was more of a Stephen Jones thing, though, Phil, because I think he's the cheap son of a gun out of the two. But that's the way I feel about it. And, we'll never know probably with that. But we'll sit back and laugh and watch. And don't worry, Phil, your Pirates are not the only thing to laugh at now. You have the Cowboys, okay? I mean, this is truly funny. I mean, it is absolutely funny, and it makes me want to drink beer, whiskey, everything I can think of. But that game the other night, I'm a little bit, I know people are salty about the loss and frustrated. I was listening to it, and they were talking about Arkansas. Oklahoma was a 10 seed going in, and Arkansas was still even being considered. And it's because the SEC is so freaking crazy good this year.
Yeah.
My
The
thing
only
is-
reason that anybody would say Arkansas is being considered is because they're in this league and what's coming up on the schedule. And a couple of the surprise wins, who knows then?
Absolutely. That's what's got to happen. We got to find a way. But I think if we got to 7 and 11 somehow, which I don't know how we get there, I think they're in. I don't think it. That's just the way I feel. If you're thinking about Quad 1 and their non-conference schedule, but long way to go. Look, Adu looks like he's in the doghouse, and I don't want to talk ugly about the player, but they had to go with Big Z the other night. He was playing better. He deserved the minutes. That's just the reality. Anyways, y'all have a good one.
Charlie, appreciate that. Thanks. What Matt, what'd you make of Schottenheimer getting hired by the Cowboys? A surprise at all?
Man, you look at all the guys that are out there. I kind of like you'd heard Kellen Moore, who's the offensive coordinator for Philly. I like the OC for the Redskins too. It just kind of came out of, like, if you were making a list, Phil, and you said, all right, let's look at the top 5 coaches available that you think are available. He wouldn't even be on the top 5, and so that's just, it kind of feels like a Jason Garrett hire. It's kind of the same. You're like, who? Oh, okay. It's on page C7 of the sports section. Like Jerry, he didn't make a splash, but I think that's what he wanted.
Well, he wasn't interviewing for any other job. You would like to think that you're going to hire somebody that is sought after by other teams as well. And it feels like the guy that Jerry let go is more sought after than the person that he hired for the job. Now, McCarthy doesn't have a job right now. Maybe the Saints are the thing that ends up for him, but he'll end up as a head coach in the NFL, either with the Saints next year or somewhere else the year after. This one came totally out of left field, and hey, I liked his dad as a coach, Marty Schottenheimer. He was also one of those coaches that had that reputation of great regular season, put together really good teams, Cleveland, Kansas City, but would end up with the big L in the postseason, and a lot of those losses ended up at home. One Super Bowl appearance for him, the conversation would have been different. One Super Bowl win for Schottenheimer, like Cowher, he's a Hall of Famer, but that's not the case for Marty, unfortunately.
What about, was that Gene Levy? Who was the coach of the Buffalo Bills?
Marv Levy.
Marv Levy. Is he a Hall of Fame? He's
in.
Okay.
Pretty sure he's in. Just for making the Super Bowl.
He should
time.
be. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he should be. And maybe Brian Schottenheimer, maybe he does it. Maybe he gets it done. You think about Dallas, they had Dan Quinn was on their staff, Kellen Moore was on their staff, both guys that were just in the NFC Championship game.
When you think of the idea of Chiefs fatigue right now, here's Nate Burleson talking about that.
Say this to the fan bases out there. If you're not a Chiefs fan, that's okay. but resist the urge to fall for the narrative that we're tired of seeing them win, that we might be fatigued of watching KC go to the Super Bowl over and over again. You are witnessing greatness, and just be happy that you are alive to be there to see it.
I remember what it was like when the Bills made 4 Super Bowls in a row and they lost all 4 of them. You feel weird thinking about it, but there was Bills fatigue from being in the Super Bowl 4 years in a row and feeling that it was inevitable that they were going to lose. It's like the reverse thing of what's going on with the Chiefs. I can appreciate greatness. I certainly can appreciate greatness. I just think I would have liked to see, I don't know, maybe some Bills in commercials instead of all the Chiefs. Quick break here on Halftime. We've got 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smile Center. In just a moment, stay with us.
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
This is Halftime.
Building warrior.
Physical toughness and physicality matter more now than ever before.
Competing for each other.
You can care about the kids and still win.
Upholding the high standard.
Whatever we do, we'll have good people who are driven and wired, knowing that there's an expectation here and not being afraid of it.
This is one of those Razorback moments.
Follow John Calipari in Arkansas on the hardwood all season long.
Right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
If you live near Alex, Alma, Branch, Bloomer, Mountainburg, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect Internet may be available to you right now. Wave is now serving a few non-member areas and adding more in the coming months. Check availability online. Sign up.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sacale, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball to NHL and UFC. Head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Eat Lux your way with the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. The $5 classic box is iconic all over. The $7 Supreme Box has your decadent favorites and then some. The $9 Discovery Box introduces you to your newest obsession, like cheesy dipping burritos. Introducing the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings Boxes, only at Taco Bell.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu, only at Taco Bell.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN in Harrison and Mountain Home and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Are you here? Of course, in the background there, widespread panic. That can only mean one thing. In our second segment of hour number 2 on a Monday, it is 3 Up, 3 Down.
It's time for 3 Up, 3 Down. Presented by River Valley Smile Center with Dr. Charles Liggett.
Right, 3. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. What does 3 Up and 3 Down mean to you, Airman?
End of an inning, strike 3.
Dr. Liggett, good afternoon. It is great to hear from you today. You're not still in Jamaica, or are you still in Jamaica?
No, I got back on Saturday night. Now just trying to get back into the normal swing of things.
Yeah, normal swing of things would not be a beach, which he did. He actually did send me photos from the beach Tuesday last week. He said he wasn't going to go, and there it is. He actually he's wearing his dental clothes. It actually looks like you could be in a kung fu class with what you're wearing there too. Got a big smile on his face and the ocean in the background. So yeah, a lot of work, I know, but a lot of fun too. Hopefully,
we had a great time. Yeah,
good.
Got to help a lot of people.
Very good. All right, I got my first here. My first up is it's just for the inevitability of the Kansas City Chiefs. I've never seen something or a team that to me feels just so inevitable. Even the last time I felt like this about a team were the Yankees of the mid to late 90s. And you really, from 96 through 2001, the Yankees should never have lost a playoff series. I think they lost only one of them during that time, and that was in 97 to the Cleveland Indians. But that's as inevitable right now as the Kansas City Chiefs are. To be able to achieve this level of greatness for this long is really difficult to do. Winning back-to-back championships is just amazingly difficult in any sport. To make it as the defending two-time champion to the Super Bowl for a third time in this day and age of professional football is just amazing. So, I'm not a fan of the Chiefs. I'm not a hater of them either. I was rooting for Buffalo, but not because I'm anti-Chiefs or anti-Kansas City. I can appreciate greatness when I'm watching it, and that's what the Chiefs are. My first down goes to being second fiddle, and there's nothing wrong with being second best or third best when you're talking about, like the Dodgers in the 50s to the Yankees or the Lakers in the 60s to the Celtics or, take your pick, the Minnesota Vikings of the 70s and the Broncos of the 80s and maybe the Bengals of the 80s and the Bills of the 90s and all of that. Karl Malone, Stockton, Ewing, Reggie Miller, all of those teams, even the Indians of the 90s to the Yankees. There's really nothing wrong with being second fiddle because that does mean that you were just short of being great as a team. It's hard to swallow that on an annual basis like the Buffalo Bills right now. So that's my first down.
And like the Sacramento Queens that had Chris Webber and Doug Christie and man, that was nothing wrong with being second. My first up, Liverpool 4-1 over your boy Ed Sheeran's team, Ipswich Town. So they won 4-1. They're 6 points ahead of Arsenal with a game in hand. So they're getting it done. And then my first down is to the NBA dunk contest. I just saw the 4 patrons that are going to be participating. And what's wrong with having like Donovan Mitchell, Malik Monk, Anthony Edwards, and Jaylen Brown? It's like we get a G Leaguer. you want to watch the NBA dunk contest for the stars. You're not really worried about, oh, this guy has a. I want to see who can dunk. The guys that are playing. I don't care about some guy that you go get at Rucker Park or that's playing in the G League in Orlando. It's an NBA dunk contest. They need to get that together.
Matt, I think of like the home run derby, and some batters say, I don't want to be part of that because it's going to ruin my swing middle of the season. I guess I can appreciate that. Just look at like what happened to Josh Hamilton after his legendary home run derby. But is there anything about a dunk contest that could ruin what a player's got going on from the first half to the second half? I can't picture that.
Well, if you try to like jump over a moving car and the car hits you, just don't, these are athletes, but like, let's bring the best guys. What's wrong with having Malik Monk go and, Obi-Wan Kenobi down there in New York? There's Anthony Edwards. There's so many good, young, talented players that could go, and I don't know what started this, if it was LeBron James that started it, but Kobe did a dunk contest. Vince Carter did. You start looking at it used to be a badge of honor. It used to be something you wanted. Now it's like, they don't care, but you'd like to see more of your better play. Your all-star, it's an all-star weekend, so they have to be all-star caliber players. That's my point. How is it the all-star weekend and you got G Leaguers doing the dunk contest?
That's a good point. I think Anthony Richardson probably could dunk a little bit. Doc, what you got first?
My first up. Well, we're less than 3 weeks away from baseball season, so we had some scrimmages this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So sounds like pitchers look pretty good, getting quite a few strikeouts over the weekend. Good to see Kendall Diggs back in there, although he was at DH and not running the bases, which I'm not really exactly sure why he wasn't running the bases with an upper body injury, but maybe just still taking it easy on him. But it sounded like a lot of guys look good. There's a guy named Tyler Holland who I wasn't really familiar with, but he's a two-way guy. Got a few hits this weekend. Kind of a surprise. Looked good in the outfield. I don't think we've seen him pitch yet, or at least I didn't notice that he threw. But Fouch looked up pretty good from what I heard. I heard kind of a funny story. There's a guy named Britton Clark, who's a left-handed batter, and he was facing Fouch, and came back in. Fouch struck him out, and he came back in and said that was the nastiest pitch he's ever seen. He actually threw him a splitter, and he said it was moving so fast down and away that he thought it looked like a curveball from a left-handed pitcher, which is pretty impressive. So I'm getting excited about baseball.
Yeah, me too. Fouch's splitter is really something. You take a kid throws like 101 mile an hour high fastball, and they're going to be geared up for that. And then the next thing you know, this splitter comes in looking like that fastball and then drops like a foot and a half.
Bottom falls out of it. Yeah,
it's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. First down?
My first down is Rule 12, Section 3, Article 4, which I'm pretty sure nobody really knew about before this weekend, the palpably unfair rule, which Luvu, I guess, kind of teetered on whenever he was jumping across the line against Philly. And so apparently you can either, it's a referee discretion,
yeah,
and so the player can either be disqualified or they can award a score. But sounded like the Commanders held off on that fourth time to avoid that. But wouldn't it just be perfect if the roles were switched and that was against Kansas City, and the referees ended up giving Kansas City points to win the game?
It makes perfect sense for me because you could you literally could like run out the clock just like jumping off sides over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It felt like the football version of of balking in a runner from third base, but I'd never even heard a referee say anything like that before. But now we know.
Yeah.
And as we know, knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe.
Second up for me, Arkansas gymnastics home upset of defending national champion LSU on Friday night. And, hey, I'm probably guilty of it as well, that the home team was not even like the headline if you were promoting the event and everything. But they will be now. That's outstanding. So maybe a little bit of a jump forward for Arkansas gymnastics. A home meet win over the defending national champion LSU Tigers. Second down, and this really is just making fun and having fun with them because this is one of my favorite kids in all of Northwest Arkansas. You might have seen, and I think, Doc, you probably saw the video on Twitter of, I think it was Saturday at the baseball scrimmage, one of the new players, I think it was Michael Anderson, I think was the name, or it might have been Peterson, one of those two guys.
Michael Anderson he was in the first base.
He hits a home run into the hog pen. There's one kid out there. And if there's one kid in the hog pen, it's going to be Dalton Carpenter, who was Bubba's son and a baseball-obsessed person. You'll remember, I think this was from the SEC tournament a couple of years ago, Bubba's kid made an amazing catch on a foul ball, beating like 20 other kids for the ball. I mean, caught the ball. They didn't just pick it up. And he was the star of the show on SEC Network. And you know, Bubba said he'd never been prouder in his life. Well, Dalton was chasing this home run in the hog pen. He's all by himself out there. He slips and falls on his face on the hill in the hog pen, and they used that clip on the Arkansas Twitter feed for the video. So it's gotten a lot of views from baseball fans across the country that are just laughing because Dalton fell on his face while chasing a home run. But here's the thing. He was the only one out there. Where was your effort, those who were making fun of Dalton Carpenter? This kid's going to be, I think he's going to be a Razorback at some point, maybe a big leaguer at some point, because I don't know another kid who's more baseball obsessed. But these also go with being the hero sometimes, Dalton. So you can be the hero and you can be the clown 2 years apart, and that's just how it is. So I'll give you a little bit of a down with an up for it at the same time. Matt.
All right. It's a Vardy party when it's Jamie Vardy. Leicester City over your boy Zach Arnstein, 2-1 in the Premier League. Jamie Vardy's 38 years old, a forward. That's just you're not 38 years old playing that level at that position. So he's timeless. And then my down is the saga that is known as Jimmy Butler. You would think if you would be a little more professional, they would probably help you get out of there. I don't know, kicking and screaming the whole time, being immature. If you want to go somewhere else and play, there's a proper way to go about it. If you're going to act like that, I'm not going to help you get out of here. If I was Pat Riley and you're acting like that, be a professional, especially after all the money I've given you. I mean, come on. We'll help you get out of here, but be a halfway professional about it.
Matt, did I see? I know he wants to go get traded to the Suns. Did I see he was wearing Suns-colored socks in one of the last games he played for Miami?
That's the other thing is, do you want to bring this head case? Do you want? I mean, he's a borderline Hall of Famer. I'm a big time Jimmy Butler fan when it comes to what he can do on the hoop court. But what you're getting Antonio Brown, you're going off on the wrong side. It's not going to help you. But yeah, I don't know what you start doing that. And you're a GM, do you want to bring somebody like that into your team?
The thing is people end up remembering more about how you left the team than the reason that they might want to trade for you.
Exactly. Because the dude's a borderline. He really is. He's an amazing, and he has about a year, Phil. He has about 2 years maybe to be at his prime peak powers. And so it's like, I would love to see him playing playoff basketball. But in 3 years, he'll be like what Allen Iverson was, where he'll have to be coming off the bench.
Dr. Liggett, batter up, second at bat.
All right, second at bat. I had the Jim backs is mine, so I'll just talk about a little bit more baseball. It really sounded like Parker Coyle looked good. He came out and struck out 3. And Tyler Holland that I was talking about earlier, he actually hit a double off of Fouch because Fouch looked really good, but Holland hit a double on a Fouch cutter. So that's
Coyle's an interesting pitcher, Charlie, because I think he's been put into some real pressure cookers in the last 2 years. And sometimes he's been in that situation as the last guy out of the pen, like the last pitcher that they might trust. Here, go get the last out of the ninth inning. It hasn't always worked for him, but in other times it has. Now, you can see a big jump from a pitcher sometimes that you weren't expecting. The thing about Coyle is that his velocity can be just a little bit short compared to some of the other pitchers. If he's picked up a little bit of that velocity, I think he's a real bulldog of a pitcher. He's not afraid to pitch inside. It's just you got to make sure that you pitch inside when you're pitching like that, because if it just leaks over the plate, it's going to meet the barrel and meet it hard. But I think he's an interesting pitcher for this team this next season. I think that's a good call. What's your second down?
Yeah, they're so deep in pitching too. My second down was yesterday was the anniversary of Kobe's death. And one thing that I thought was so interesting is when I was in Jamaica, there were tons of people with Kobe gear on. Not because it was the anniversary or anything, just that's what they had. Like you'd see Lakers. Every day I'd see kids in Lakers jerseys and Kobe stuff and all that. But anyway.
It brings a tear. No, it really does. It really does. It's a good call. All right, I got my third here. My third up is videos that Roger Clemens is putting on his Twitter feed about how to throw his various pitches.
All right, so the second way that you can hold your slider, or how I held my slider, I can make this a slurve, which is a bigger break, or I can make it tight also. They run their middle finger down inside. There's the width of the seam. Slide it down inside the baseball. Little pressure on the inside with your middle finger. Pointer finger kind of comes along for the ride. Okay, and this will be a little loopier slider that if I'm facing a right-hander that stands on top of the plate, I can throw this directly at him and break it across for a strike. Here we go.
Roger Clemens is 62 years old, and he's throwing sliders that are breaking. Like literally breaking like a real slider. So my dad is 76. He throws a slider. It ain't like Clemens' slider. And I don't like that at all. So that's my third up is to Roger Clemens. Third down is Roman numerals for the Super Bowl. I'm over it. It's Super Bowl LIX. I had to look it up. It's 59. What are we going to do when we get to Super Bowl 89 and we have 6 different Roman numerals there? LXXXIX. I don't know. This isn't Italy. We're not part of the Roman Empire. I think it's okay to use English numbers for the Super Bowl. It was cute when it started. I think it's a little bit old now. Plus, the logos all look identical to what they looked like in previous years. So I just don't think it looks as cool as it used to. That's my third down. Matt, you.
Third up is to the two participants, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. It's if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. I think it's the best defensive team with the best running back versus the most complete team in Kansas City. So I think it could be epic matchup. My third down goes to another guy that's acting like Jimmy Butler, Marcus Rashford. He's 27-year-old forward for Manchester United, and they just went through a new coach a couple weeks ago. He's their highest paid player, so he's making about $500,000 a week, and he hasn't played yet. And the coach came out and said, "I would rather play our 63-year-old goalkeeper coach before I'd play Marcus Rashford." It looks like he's in the doghouse, and he's not going to be playing anytime soon.
Maybe he and Jimmy Butler can get together and go bowling.
I think they're both fans of South Beach.
It's not like they're playing right now. All right, Doc, you're third.
My last up is Vandy, proving they're more than just a baseball school. Stormed the court last game versus Tennessee, number 6 Tennessee, and in the win, and then beat number 9 Kentucky. Stormed the court again, so cool $750,000.
Maybe we can cap the court stormings at 2 per season. It's like at some point it doesn't mean quite the same. I got a big kick out of seeing the security. Do you see the security at Memorial Gymnasium? They're right there on the side. I think the athletics director, Candace Lee, was trying to, to scream to the students, we don't want to pay another fine. We got all these security. Did not matter at all. Did not matter at all. Might as well put up a chain link fence.
All right, my last down. It's something that Chuck talks about all the time. It's just the officiating this year, and really every sport across the board. But Chuck, especially the reviews in college basketball, because Chuck talks about it on every broadcast. Is the NBA can handle these reviews in 30 seconds, and in college it's taken us 5 minutes, sometimes 6 minutes to go through that. They can cut that down. If they can do it in the NBA, they can do it in at least a minute in college.
Hey, I'm with you. If it's all if we're trying to get through games accurately, but also within a specific period of time, I think you're right. You could get quicker, get done with that a little bit quicker.
I think so.
Well, we always appreciate visits from Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smile Center. They sponsor 3 Up, 3 Down, and Matt's been a patient there for a long time. They've been the best of the best 8 years in a row, Matt.
Absolutely. You got to get down there. They're real family friendly, and Doc will take care of you.
So, Dr. Liggett, you just had gotten back from Jamaica, which, I think it says a lot about your view as what you do for a living. Yes, you're making a living, but at the same time, I mean, this trip to Jamaica was not about making money. That was just about providing your services for folks who don't have the opportunity to enjoy proper dental health.
Yeah, I've got a really good opportunity with my job where I'm able to give back a little bit easier than some people are. It works out really well, and I've been on that trip so many times, and it's I tell people it's more for me than it is for the people, just because I get so much out of it personally. It really makes it fulfills you, and my wife goes with us. She's a hygienist, and it's just part of our family. It's been a lot of fun for us.
River Valley Smile Center is a comprehensive dental facility. They offer children's dentistry, braces, dentures, gum treatment, dental implants, oral surgery, orthodontics. You can ask about sedation as well. Dr. Cole Johnson and Dr. Hannah Cabe will also take care of all your dental needs. And, of course, Dr. Charlie Liggett. Doc, take us home.
Come see us at River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family. Go Hogs.
479-646-0706. Or rivervalleysmiles.com. Stay with Halftime. We'll be back after this quick break.
This is Halftime.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on Halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cabe, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
Hear that? It's the gentle sound of a waterfall on your hike. And if you were here, you'd take a deep breath of fresh air, if you weren't so winded. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. And the bugs you wipe from your headlights are all the nature you need. So if you ride, see if you could save with Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Get an online quote in as little as 3 minutes. All from the great indoors. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
This is Halftime.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Happy New Year from Sharp Equipment. Come on over to the new Sharp Equipment today and explore what all Sharp has to offer. From our latest offers and deals as a Wacker Neuson dealer to customized hydraulic and industrial hoses, equipment repairs, and as a Cinnabogan authorized service provider, we're able to offer even more. Stop in to check out the new location at 5608 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith, or give us a call at 479-649-0500 to see how at Sharp Equipment we help you move more than just the world. We help you move forward. Sharp Equipment, your Wacker Neuson dealer.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Making a living the old hard way, taking and giving my day by day. I take snow and rain and bright sunshine. Taking the land.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Celebrate, Cubs fans. Today's the day in 1982 that you traded for Ryne Sandberg from the Cubs. You also got Larry Boa from the Cubs. Gave up Ivan DeJesus, and that was it. It was pretty good trade for the Cubs, as Sandberg won an MVP with them. Might have won 2 MVPs with them, as a matter of fact. Also, oh man, this would go right to the heart of the Bills fans, Matt. They lose the AFC Championship game yesterday. And today is the 44th anniversary of Scott Norwood wide right, which was the most crushing of the Super Bowl losses for those Bills to the Giants. And, man, I don't remember if that was Belichick's. I think
Belichick was there.
I know he was there, but I don't remember if he was there when they beat Denver in 87 season, 86 season. But I know he was there that year. And, you go back and you watch it, and he didn't just miss it. He missed it pretty far wide right on a 47-yard kick. And you remember he'd made a kick in the playoffs that year that was a walk-off, essentially. So, man, if I were to think of one of the, most heartbreaking moments as a sports fan and thinking, well, we'll get back and we'll win one at some point, wide right Scott Norwood's near the top of the list.
Man, that was tough. That was back when Roman numerals were acceptable, though, for Super Bowls.
I don't even remember what Super Bowl that was. I couldn't
even.
Well,
if we're in 59 right now, so it would have been 40.
I guess so. You're you're pretty good at the quick math with this. This is also the 24th anniversary of the first Super Bowl of the first AFC Championship for Brady, Belichick, and the Pats. Which means it's the 24th anniversary of me watching that game at Heinz Field.
And the rules change of the fumble. Forward
well,
pass
the tuck
fumble.
rule.
Yeah.
That's right, because the tuck rule would have been the week before. Absolutely would have been the week before. And remember, Who was the quarterback that actually won that game for the Pats? It wasn't Brady. It was Drew Bledsoe. Brady was hurt in the second half. Bledsoe came back, led them to a touchdown drive. But if I remember correctly, I think the most valuable player of that game would have been Troy Brown. So I think he returned a punt for a touchdown and had a couple of big catches. 877-377-6963. I think if you were to look at the first iteration of the Patriots dynasty, Troy Brown was one of the most valuable parts of that team.
He played both ways a little bit.
That's right. I'd forgotten. You're right. We got a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the second hour of halftime right after this.
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
This is halftime.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
To $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Has your spouse suddenly entered the transfer portal, going from a franchise player to a prima donna ready to take the money and run? Don't let her get away with a huge buyout. Be proactive and call Mock Legal Solutions today to ask about custody, alimony, and child support. 479-769-1505. Because even in divorce, the best offense is a good defense. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
I think we should start seeing other people.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Herod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Got a pest? Call West. If you have pest or termite problems in your home, call West today and learn how their 50 years combined experience can help solve your problems with competitive pricing and quality services, all designed with your pets and children in mind. Call today and schedule your free estimate. They even offer Saturday services and long life attic pest control. Call 782-7291. West Termite and Pest Control, protecting your home health and peace of mind.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas is proud to partner with Arkansas Children's Northwest for the Miracles and Magic Mediathon. Together, we can make a difference for local kids. Every donation directly supports the expansion of Arkansas Children's Northwest. A big thank you to our presenting sponsors, Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Visit crabtreerv.com. Heartland Honda Power Sports and Marine in Springdale. Adventure starts here. And Schlotzsky's, the perfect partner for your event catering needs. Donate now at hitthatline.com and let's make a difference together. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
It's just
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
I could feed into the Chiefs, the fixes in kind of thing here for a lot of our listeners, because let's see, it's been 1,098 days since the Chiefs last lost a playoff game. If you were to look to another sport that's scripted, I think the longest reign for a WWE or previously WWF heavyweight champion was the Hulk, 1,474 days. Otherwise, you don't see a lot of championship reigns in pro wrestling that last over 1,000 days. That's called searching. That's called searching, Matt. That is called searching for the folks who feel like the Chiefs don't deserve getting there because, and look, it's been the conversation all year long. It's been all year long from the first game of the season till yesterday that the fix is in, that the NFL wants the Chiefs to make it and win it. And I just can't, like, honestly, if you're Roger Goodell, does it help when there is such a dominant team at the top of the most popular sport? I don't know if it is. I mean, it's not like the ratings are going to suffer dependent upon who won yesterday. But I can't buy the idea that the fix is in. It's just, do the Chiefs end up getting calls? Yes. You know why? Winners get calls. They always have. They always will.
You play man free on Patrick Mahomes, or you play any type of iteration of man. He's going to wear you out. There's too many mesh routes. There's too many pick plays. There's just too many. He's too talented. That's you can't. The Chiefs have a lot of talent, so there's a reason, but that both home field teams won. I mean, they less turnovers, less penalties, and what was one of the things I said on Friday? It's not about the team that makes the most explosive plays, which explosive plays help. It's about the team that limits their mistakes and gets out of bad plays. And Redskins put the ball on the turf a couple times. Buffalo being on the road, sometimes you're in a silent snap. You get to a play, can't get out of something. They had a couple more bad plays. It's just it comes down to about 5, 6, 7 plays a game, and the Chiefs made the plays that when it mattered. Now I do think I thought he had the first down, but
I did too.
Momentum, all that type of stuff you go about. I mean, that's a tough break.
You can't help but feed into the fixes in idea when you get the two officials.
Don't drop that pass though either. Homie drops the pass right there. So then I can't really feel bad. The officials didn't drop that pass.
There are always plays to be made after the call that you got. Always. That's just how it is. Here's an example. Nobody would want to hear this example, but I'm going to say it anyway. The pop-up dropped in the 2018 College World Series. They still had to get the base hit 2 pitches after that to tie the game. It wasn't just the pop-up. You have to do something with your luck. That's why you got to be good to be lucky. Otherwise, the lucky moments, you don't have those lucky moments. You don't take advantage of those calls. The Chiefs did. We take advantage of a third hour of halftime in a moment. 877-377-6963. We'll be talking with Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South in about 20 minutes. Otherwise, you and us here on Halftime.
The Capital One pre-approval sale has been extended at Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. Troy, the weather a few weeks ago kind of derailed the sale, but you've got it extended now through the end of the month.
Yes, Capital One was nice enough, man. They worked with us, and they extended this sale until the end of this month, the 31st, which is on a Friday. So come and see us, Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford. We pride ourselves in the prices and the deals that we give our customers. We want to make sure you get the best deal on a car, not just just with us, not just with the price of the car, but the best deal with the bank that you finance with. And with Capital One giving us this pre-approval sale and allowing us to extend it, you don't just get the best price on the car, but you get the best financing on the car too. So come and see us and let us get you the best deal on a new Ford.
It's the Capital One pre-approval sale only at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Sallisaw. Come and see all the details right here. You can always see the inventory online at harryrobinson.com.
Michelle Smallman here for the Capital One Venture X card. If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, you can earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn all of your purchases into extraordinary travel. And you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book through Capital One Travel. Plus, you'll get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Looking for a way to get your favorite blowers from Pradco at the click of a button? Learner.com not only has brands such as Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more, but the site includes exclusive deals and baits you won't find anywhere else for your favorite brands. We have free shipping for all U.S. orders over $35, so be sure to treat your favorite fishing buddy or yourself to some new tackle box treasures. Check out Learner.com today.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our high this afternoon in the upper 40s to lower 50s. It'll be clear and cold tonight. Overnight low in the low 30s. Sunshine on Tuesday, a high in the upper 50s to near 60. And Wednesday, chance of a few scattered showers south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Fight like hell for the University of Arkansas the entire time that I'm the head coach.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Phil said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
But they were one Razorback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
A very pleasant good afternoon, and welcome back in on halftime as you're listening to ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. I am Phil Elson. My partner is Matt Jones, and Kristen Johnston, C. Whiskey, is in the producer's chair. We got you for the next 60 minutes before Ruskin and Zach. Our calls and texts at 877-377-6963.
C. Taco. He just got some tacos delivered.
There's nothing better than whiskey and tacos on the same day. Heck, in the same hour. It's pretty good. He got a trip to Mexico, huh? I'm jealous automatically.
It smells better in here now. So there we go.
Yeah, there's a little something going on in the studio beforehand, right? Too bad. We'll be talking with Connor O'Gara in about 15 minutes. Oh, I see. So you'd brought up the dunk contest, Matt, because of the G Leaguer that's
Well, it's an
gonna be playing in
NBA
it.
All-Star game.
Mac
you know?
McClung is back.
Yeah,
He's the guy.
I'm not hating on him. You know, good for him. I get it, but it's an NBA also. I want to see the NBA talent. I get it. Maybe you can do a little better dunk than somebody who has more talent than you. I understand. It's the NBA All-Star game.
What about the Pro Bowl games?
I've actually never ever watched a Pro Bowl, so I don't. I've seen highlights or whatever, but I've never ever watched a Pro Bowl.
Well, this is like I'd watched a couple of like not full Pro Bowls, but back when I was a kid and there wasn't really all that much going on Sundays. At this point, the Super Bowl was over. So the Pro Bowl was all you had because it was after the
They used to do the Super Bowl the week before. I mean, the Pro Bowl the week before the Super Bowl. Like this week coming up should be the Pro Bowl. That's how it's supposed to be, but they've changed it.
And now it's called the Pro Bowl Games because it's not actually
It's a skills competition.
That's exactly what it is. And that's the first time I think that we ever saw anything that was skill-ish, like a skills competition in an all-star game was the dunk contest. That's the first one. And then did the three-point contest come at the same time? It was around the same era. I know in the mid-'80s is when the dunk and three-point contest came out. But I don't remember if they were the same year, one after the other. And then some of the other leagues got into it. You know, then you get the home run derby with baseball. That's after the dunk contest was invented. The Pro Bowl games, you're supposed to play a real game of football with different rules. I think there were no blitzes. You couldn't tackle in a certain way.
It's still a violent sport, though.
I'm sure it is.
There's no reason to have a full-on Pro Bowl. I mean, you look at the NBA All-Star game. It's worse than a pickup game that you'd go just play pickup ball, man. It's hard to watch at times.
Yeah, I'm trying to find all the information as to what these games are, but it's like I got excited to watch when I was an NHL fan. That skills competition because they had a lot of the things that mattered in that, fastest skater,
accurate shot,
hardest shot, who can drop the gloves quickest. No, they never did that, but that actually could have been a real skill. Could have had a punch out competition. Those little games at the bar with the thing that hangs
the
down.
Enforcer.
Yeah. Well, you just throw one big punch and see who's got the best right hook. But I don't think they've pulled that one out just yet. Josh remembered about the home run derby. Yeah, and the derby, it's still something that people want to watch because we just we ooh and ah at the distance of it all. The dunk contest is just at least you have real all-stars who are real major leaguers that are taking part in this. Like it's a lot different when you have to not just scan across the NBA, but dip into the G League. And look, I mean, McClung is an exciting dunker. I remember when he played at Georgetown and then at Texas Tech. I think he played against the Razorbacks once or twice. He was an exciting player in college, and I'm sure in the G League he's fun to watch, but it's an NBA All-Star thing. So for me, it should be the All-Stars that are taking part in this.
I do like how they do some of that you pick like three guys off their team and y'all do the free throw shot, 3-point shot, half court shot. I like the skills position with the guards, and if you really want to, you can shoot that three or you can take it in for a layup. It's about a second and a half, but it's risk reward. So there are a couple things that I like watching, but those are all NBA players. You're not calling up a guard from the Orlando Sentinel to go through the arcade.
The thing that is wild to think about All-Star competition, and I know we brought this up previously, is that it used to be the Super Bowl champion before they would play any preseason games would play a makeup of college All-Star teams at Soldier Field in Chicago. I think the last time this occurred was 75 or 76, but it was a real tradition. I mean, for years, I think it benefited the Shriners Hospital. And it went on for 50 years. Like that was actually a college all-star thing. And could you imagine like you call up Andy Reid. We're going to have your team next year, and admittedly, none of your guys are going to play in this, and they're going to play against the college all-stars on August the 1st. It doesn't even feel like the same world that we're living in now, but I think it is It actually is the same.
Didn't they vote to make the preseason games go 2 games, and they're going to add another regular?
That's the next thing.
What year did they say? What year they're going to do that?
I don't think there's been anything decided about it, because that's got to be that. I think that has to be negotiated through with the players' union. If it already wasn't, I could imagine it has to be, because now you're at 17 games. I know Goodell said they want an 18th regular season game, which then cuts down your preseason to 2. But that still means that your starters, your guys, are absorbing many more hits, because how many of them are playing a full game in the preseason? So you take away another preseason game, that just means, you're taking away 3 quarters of sitting, if not 4 quarters of sitting. So it's just a lot more hits, and it's got to go with another full game check. Like, you have to be paying these guys for a full regular season game, not just for an extra week, because that's that's just, think of what it was like 4 years ago. You're playing 16 regular season games, and you can sit in the preseason to a point, depending upon your relationship with your coach and how you're viewed in your team. Now you're taking 2 more full regular season games of hits. Better come with more pay.
Well, I think they need to expand the roster. I think it's 53 guys on the roster. So if you're going to do that, which essentially they've added 2 games in a 5-year, I see they just add one, then we'll add another one 5 years later. So it doesn't seem like that big of a jump. But you would think that, 3 players a team? If you could add 1 offensive and 1 defensive player, then you're able to, pick up and drop guys. But you would think that, yes, they'll get a raise, but you would think they would expand the roster a little bit.
I would think they would too, because that also goes along with more money to the players, is expanding the membership of the union.
Because they're not going to do. When do you think they do another NFL team? We had the 2 NFL teams in '95. That's the last time we've added 2 NFL teams. NBA, they had the Oklahoma City. They were Seattle. I guess they just came from Seattle, so they didn't really add the Thunder. When's the last team that's been added? The Charlotte Bobcats, maybe, is that the last team that's been added?
You mean in the NBA?
In the NBA, but so we're looking at the NFL. I'm thinking expand the rosters, but I don't think they need another team. Do you think there's a way, or you think they add 2 more teams to the NFL?
The sport's popular enough that you could probably do that.
There's not enough talent, though.
That's the question.
Yeah,
that's the question. But do owners care about that? What else comes with 2 more teams? It probably comes with $1 billion of expansion fees that go directly to the owners of the current teams. That's what's happening in the NBA. You get Seattle and Vegas are getting teams. I don't know what the expansion fee is for the NBA. That goes directly into the pockets of the owners. So when I think of that, yes, I do think the NFL will expand, whether or not there's enough talent.
Yeah. Well, the Raiders went to Vegas. You see what Vegas is doing. They get the national championship game 2027. You got NBA Summer League. I wonder if an NBA team does go to Vegas.
When was that that championship game in Vegas? Isn't that like the 27th of January?
The 25th.
We're going to go to a place where it's the college football championship game with the Super Bowl the next week. And I like ratings sometimes are a little difficult to glean what it means. But if the ratings for this last championship game with those brand names, with Ohio State and Notre Dame, and maybe a reason that the ratings were down is because it didn't involve an SEC team. But then you look at the ratings for Michigan and Washington, and they were much better than Ohio State, Notre Dame. Maybe there is such a thing as too much football. And it's not necessarily just too much football at that time of the year, but it's 3 days in a row or 5 days in a row. You're just like, all right, I got to watch these games because I've been watching all the other regular season games. I got to watch the games that matter, right? Well, maybe it's not quite that simple. It is pretty simple. If you are craving something sweet and delicious and frozen, you get over to Andy's Frozen Custard at any of their locations in our listening audience. They're in Fort Smith on Rogers Avenue. They're in Conway and East Oak Street and Dave Ward Drive, and in North Little Rock on JFK Boulevard. They are the greatest frozen treats around. Ask about the Rico Suave Jackhammer. I think you got to say it, the Rico Suave Jackhammer. Andy's vanilla or frozen or chocolate frozen custard blended with roasted pecans and Oreos with a center filled with hot fudge. It's going to make you want to roll those R's at Andy's Frozen Custard. Walk up or drive through, always ready to serve you. And we're back with Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South right after this.
You're bleeding, man. I ain't got time to bleed.
This is halftime.
National Championship Program. National Championship Coach. A match made in hog heaven.
This program, you talk about some of the best jobs in the country. In basketball, this is one of them. This fan base is so engaged. I love it.
Throws it up at the horn. It's good.
This program is the state's program.
Listen to every moment of John Calipari's first season.
Right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
If you live near Alex, Alma, Branch, Bloomer, Mountain Burg, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect Internet may be available to you right now. Wave is now serving a few non-member areas and adding more in the coming months. Check availability online. Sign up.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hey, Todd Richardson here at First Financial Mortgage, my mortgage lender, Ethan Adamson. Ethan, congratulations, over 300 five-star reviews.
Yeah, Todd, we pride ourselves on delivering a five-star service during the entire mortgage process.
What sets you apart from everyone else?
I think communication, how quickly we work, we get you closed on time or early. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss. Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
We missed Connor O'Gara a couple of weeks ago, but we do have him today, and we'll go to the phones. He is, of course, the national senior columnist at Saturday Down South and joins us on our hotline right now. Connor, happy Monday. How you doing today?
Gentlemen, good to be back with you. It's been an interesting few weeks, but everything is good, and we're grateful to be moving on to the offseason. Long season, man. It's weird when it goes all the way until late January like this, but yeah, it feels like the first real week of the offseason for me.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too long, but big news coming out yesterday. It felt like, Jim Knowles was going to be leaving Ohio State. I know that they didn't offer him what he said the competitors were offering. So it sounded like it came between Oklahoma and Penn State. What kind of impact does this have on both Penn State and Ohio State?
I think it's more significant probably for Penn State, because Penn State is looking at this going, you mean to tell me we can just invest resources and throw money at the problem and it'll go away? Sure, let's do it. I think it was a really smart move by James Franklin to recognize that there could be a price to land someone that just led the top two scoring defenses in consecutive years. You lose someone like Tom Allen, who did tremendous things there as their defensive coordinator after coming over from Indiana. You lose him to Clemson, and you think, all right, well, what can we do? Well, we can go out and we can poach someone as well. And we can have this high standard on defense maintained. And you're living in a world now in which a defensive coordinator is going to be making $3 million per year. That's where college football has gone. I'm old enough to remember when Nick Saban was the first $4 million man in college football as a head coach back in 2007. And now we're talking about a time in which coordinators can make $3 million per year. But when you're as good as Jim Knowles is, he's coveted for a reason. It would have been a really nice addition for Oklahoma, though, with Brent Venables controlling that defense still. It wouldn't have maybe been the difference maker that it would have been at a place like Penn State.
Does he get Caleb Downs? Does he come with them? I'm joking, of course, but that would that would help. That dude, he would get drafted in the first day of the NFL draft if he could come out this year. Speaking of coordinators, though, Connor, what about Notre Dame losing their D coordinator? Does that hurt them at all? Do you still think Notre Dame's a lock to make the playoff 12 next year, or losing your D coordinator, does that hurt them a little bit?
It could. It absolutely could. Al Golden was awesome as Notre Dame's defensive coordinator, man. That guy did such wonders for his career after. I think a lot of people, look at the Miami sample size with him and you think, all right, you know what? Maybe you'll end up having a cup of coffee in the NFL or something like that, but you'll kind of hover around and be one of these guys that will still be remembered for not being able to kind of rebuild Miami into what many think Miami should be. And he was such a key part of that Notre Dame defensive culture, that identity. The amount of times in which I watched Notre Dame in a crucial game dial up this unbelievable blitz that would befuddle a quarterback. It's just like you just look at that and you kind of marvel, because yes, they have talent. Do they have 5-star immediate, top 10 picks in the NFL draft? No, they do not have that. And so they have to rely on scheme more than a program like Ohio State. And so losing a guy like that, yeah, it's absolutely significant. He was one of the best. He was one of the best, not just defensive assistants, but really best assistants in all of college football. And even though Marcus Freeman is a great defensive mind in his own right, being able to kind of control the CEO type elements of a program, you want to be able to do that. I think Brent Venables wants to be able to kind of head in that direction as well. And so that's why maybe, he was obviously in that market for Jim Knowles. But yeah, Al Golden and Jim Knowles being on the move, two defensive minds that will be greatly lost by the teams that they just left.
I was really shocked by some of the messages that Ryan Day's wife said that they got after the loss to Michigan. And I just kind of think like we're in a different world of college sports now, obviously. But look, you lost to your arch rival, you won the national championship. And I know there were jokes, he should leave, he should go somewhere else because, you shouldn't be dealing with death threats or feel unsafe because you lost to Michigan again. But that's it's an interesting thing to think about with relationships of coaches and fan bases. And as much as Ryan Day can, maybe try to paper over that kind of thing, it doesn't erase that there was such an amazing negative feeling after that game, knowing full well they still had a chance to go play for a national championship. Is all healed in Columbus after a natty or not?
I think all is healed for now. That's the best way to say it. It's still a what have you done for me lately business. And we've seen coaches like my guy, Gene Chizik. We've seen coaches like Ed Ogeron win a national championship only to realize 2 years later, you're in jeopardy of losing your job. And I'm not going to say that that's going to happen to Ryan Day, because what he has done to be able to turn around what could have been a very sour note, the ultimate sour note to end this season, I'm not going to say that that's imminent, but at the same time, anything is on the table in this day and age, and you see how quickly fan bases can flip. And all of a sudden it's, Ryan Day proved so many people wrong. Well, at the same time, not saying that death threats and all that stuff, not saying that is ever justified or understood or anything like that. But at the same time, are we just supposed to assume that Ryan Day is going to rattle off a 4-game stretch like that? Are we just going to give him a pass for losing to Michigan for the 4th consecutive year, even though 3 of Michigan's 4 best players weren't even playing in that game in Columbus? Are we just supposed to ignore these things? No, but it just goes to show you, man, the volatility of these jobs is crazy. And our Brett Friedlander wrote, going into the national championship, wouldn't it be ironic if Ryan Day just kind of pulled the Jim Harbaugh and just won a national title and then left for the NFL and said, you know what? How do you like me now? I'm going to go head off to a different job. And how much that would have just had Ohio State fans, their entire psyche just thrown off course. But ultimately, it doesn't look like that's going to be happening.
Hey, Connor, who would you have as I was trying to think. Carson Beck went in the portal to Miami. They kind of did they went and got Cam Ward last year. Who is the best player in this year's portal that left? Are there any players left in the portal that still haven't made up their mind? And do you think Ohio State keeps both those receivers, Jeremiah and Tate?
I think they will, just because, you saw from the $20 million roster, they have the resources to be able to take care of business, even though they end up losing Jim Knowles to the $3 million contract that Penn State offers them. But, you can kind of look at this in a couple of different ways. Now, I try and not look at it just from who's the most impactful transfer, because that's going to be a quarterback every single time. And Carson Beck is going to be the leader in the clubhouse. John Matier, the new Oklahoma quarterback coming over from Washington State with his offensive coordinator, Ben Arbuckle, is also going to be part of those conversations as well, though a little bit tricky to judge based on his sample size. Beck's the more accomplished player. But, what about somebody like Zachariah Branch coming over from USC to Georgia, somebody that is going to be able to give that offense a weapon that it very much lacked this past season and can be super, super explosive. Nick Anderson, going from Oklahoma to LSU, is one to keep an eye on as well, after he basically had a lost season and what many expected to be kind of one of the best players in the SEC at his position. So, yeah, I typically like to break it down more so in terms of, the positional value and whatnot. But, yeah, Carson Beck is going to be the overwhelming favorite there, just because you saw what Cam Ward did this past year. You're keeping some offensive continuity with that same offensive staff, and you feel good enough about the weapons that they're going to be able to surround him with. So, yeah, Beck is probably going to be the leader in terms of best transfer player.
All right, this last question is more just projecting into the future. It's not going to happen right now. Although, Venables got an extension just before the season started last year. So Sark's got an extension, obvious reasons. Shane Beamer just got one too. Which program do you think in the SEC is positioned for the next contract extension? Maybe where we might not have seen one coming.
It's a good question, because, man, it's so difficult to figure that out in this day and age. And I would like, some people would look at Billy Napier's situation and go, well, why isn't he getting a contract extension? Well, then it makes it more difficult to fire him, and then you're kind of wondering, where you're at if that program goes 6-6 next year, and you're like, well, we can't fire him now. But you know what? Mark Stoops would be an interesting one, and maybe not necessarily changing the buyout terms, but just as a message to send the world of, hey, he's not going anywhere. I thought he was going to step down at season's end. I really did. I think this era is kind of taking a toll on him, and it goes against his overall identity of who he wants to be as a football coach, the type of program he wants to build up. But that's one where if all of a sudden you heard Kentucky AD Mitch Barnhart come out with a statement and an extension for Mark Stoops, just adding a couple of years onto a deal and not necessarily changing base pay, not necessarily changing a buyout, but just to say to the world, hey, you think he's going somewhere? He's actually not. He's still our guy. You could see a move like that. That's kind of what Venables' deal was as Oklahoma was about to join the SEC. They made that announcement public a week before Oklahoma's first day in the SEC. So always be aware of stuff like that. Brent Venables already extended through the rest of the decade, or not Brent Venables, but Clark Lee is already extended through the rest of the decade. So he might not be as likely of a candidate, but he could have a raise coming as well. So just a couple of names to kind of keep in mind for that.
No, on the other side, I think, at Arkansas, you probably want to see some progress forward from a 6-win regular season in Sam Pittman's sense. But if you look at like LSU and Brian Kelly, they're giving off some of those Jimbo and A&M vibes. And with the players and talent they've brought in from the portal, specifically defensively for this next year, I don't know, is it make or break yet for Brian Kelly? It's like looking at some of the guys that he had over the last year in the NFL and what they did as rookies. It's shocking to think that LSU didn't even, play in a championship game in the SEC last year. So I just, I wonder if sooner or later LSU's hoping for more return on the investment, just like A&M with Jimbo.
Yeah, a little bit different just because Brian Kelly's won, 29 games in his first 3 seasons there. They've already had a Heisman Trophy winner. They've been to an SEC championship game. No, haven't made the playoff, but still, he inherited a roster that had 39 scholarship players in a bowl game. They've still got close to $60 million left on that contract. I don't think that it's a situation where it's make or break, but I do think that this upcoming year, and this is something I'm writing about for SDS this week, I do think this upcoming year is the most no-excuses season that Brian Kelly has ever had as a head coach, just because of what he's returning, with Garrett Nussmeier at quarterback, maybe the best quarterback returning in college football, the defensive coordinator Blake Baker that he spent big on last year, who's got coming back weeks, makes the decision to come back with Harold Perkins Jr., who everybody assumed was off to the NFL draft, and then the big-time portal edition. It is very much a no-excuse type season. People will often misconstrue that as you're going to get fired if you don't succeed, but there's probably some sort of wiggle room in that. I just don't think that his job is that much in jeopardy, barring a collapse, barring a 3-9 season in which everybody's transferring left and right, in which it looks like they have no option but that. But I do think that Brian Kelly is heading towards a fascinating year 4.
Connor, we always appreciate your time. Thanks for making some of that for us today, and we'll look forward for another talk in a couple of weeks.
Gentlemen, appreciate it.
Connor O'Gara, national senior columnist, Saturday Down South. We'll open up the hotline for the last 30 minutes or so of the show. We call it the home stretch, 877-377-6963. Remember, Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Got thoughts for big adventures for the family on the road over the summer? There is an RV on the lot at Crabtree that fits what you're looking for. Just give them a visit at the junction of I-40 and I-49 beside the Cracker Barrel, or go online to crabtreerv.com. Their service and parts department is on site. Their salespeople take you through everything that they listen to from you. They've got exactly what you need in the back of their minds. It's crabtreerv.com to get a look at the inventory as well. Quick break. We're into the home stretch of halftime, and we're back after this.
Baseball, movies, good clothes, fast cars, whiskey, and you.
This is Halftime. Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
The Hit That Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South C Road, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full day cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
We're getting crushed out here. What's going on with you, Nick? You used to be the unstoppable king of flag football.
I'm feeling my age. At 40, I feel like I can't keep up anymore.
Is it lower testosterone?
Lower T?
Yeah. When you turn 40, you have less testosterone. It's harder to stay lean and get the same results you used to get. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I know Nugenix. It really gives you an edge.
No question. At work, the gym, the bedroom, Nugenix turned back the clocks. Now I've got the same energy that I did in my 20s.
I want to try Nugenix.
All right, time out. Guys, go text Nugenix and get yourselves a complimentary bottle to try.
Text AREA to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Mark your calendars and save big at the Greater River Valley RV Show going on January 30th through February 2nd at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Special show pricing and financing available on all units, new or used. Come and see our large inventory of industry-leading brands such as Grand Design and Forest River. Take advantage of the huge savings at the Greater River Valley RV Show at Crabtree RV Center, January 30th through February 2nd. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Wherever you are, I could think of you to glow. Baby, you know.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I did not think we would be hearing Lucky Star and Madonna on today's show. I'm a fan. That brings me back to childhood. I remember the video, and I remember the crush I had on the late 80s Madonna when I was 10, 11, and 12.
Yeah, that's from one of my favorite movies, Snatch. That's Madonna married Guy Ritchie, which I gave the C Whiskey, whatever he is, C Taco today. Layer Cake is another Guy Ritchie movie that I gave him for halftime homework.
Just be prepared for your student to not do the homework, though, man. I mean,
gotta. You might dig this though. It's better than Grape Nuts.
Come on, it's not better than Grape Nuts, is it?
Grape Nuts. Oh,
you're gonna have to eat. What are you gonna do with the rest of the box? I mean, you have like 2/3 of a box left.
I could burn it. I could
put it in your bird feeder.
Yeah,
no, don't do that to the birds. It would hurt their beaks. Burn it. I mean, I don't even know if it's flammable. Give it a try. You put together some kind of a recipe that actually might be edible for you to take care of that.
Food. There you go. Chum up a catfish place. There you go.
Perfect. That's great. Now you got me thinking about
then you
dinner
fried
tonight.
Catfish. We can all dig that, right?
Now the thing, you could actually convince somebody if you put grape nuts in a blender and blended it around that these were really panko breadcrumbs. And then you can try crusting chicken with grape nuts, and then you can play a real joke on your friends for the Super Bowl party. C-Wing, because everybody wants to, you got to have like chicken wings or something at the Super Bowl party. Yeah. Well,
that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some grape nuts to a Super Bowl party.
Seth liked that. I specified the late 80s Madonna. Now, I liked her in the 90s too. Looks a little different now. And I'll be honest, I haven't looked at a photo of Madonna in a long time, but I'm always going to picture her Lucky Star, Borderline, those ones, rolling around on a roof in a black and white video. That's how I'll remember her, because that's how I want to remember her, Seth. Don't ruin my childhood for me. It's like the same as Barker's Beauties on The Price is Right.
It's kind of like
they got
Miley
dudes
Cyrus
now on the price. Like what are we doing? We got dudes on The Price is Right. Just throwing, you're like, what?
It's a different world, man.
It's a different world. That is right. Oh,
and it's okay.
Goodness.
I mean, it's okay, but it just is a much, much different world. Yeah, Joel says, and this is what I thought would work for the freeze last week, that if you don't eat the grape nuts, you can just use it as rock salt. Now, I don't think it's going to melt away the ice or the snow that you don't have in front of the building right now, but it could soak it up, because that's the driest food you could ever try. So it'll soak that stuff up for you. But the whole point here is, like, if you're going to be the producer of the show, and I have to make sure that I at least give Ty Richardson his due. Ty did his homework most of the time. The guy who didn't do his homework was SmackDown. SmackDown was the one, and he was too big for me to do anything about it. It's not like I was going to threaten him or anything. Not like I'm going to threaten you.
Well, I'm not going to make this a habit, but the grape nuts just was one of those things where I couldn't do it.
Sometimes when it comes to like an actual class that you're taking, you're not going to like it, but you still have to choke that stuff down.
I took a bad grade is what I do. Sometimes I just got to take the L,
I was really bad about that sometimes too. It's like, I've been open about this on the show. I was not the best student in the world, so if I didn't think I was interested in the class, I just stopped going. And there was the whole add and drop thing too, and there's the whole deadline about that. Matt, did we come to the deadline of drop? Is he okay to drop one class? Because we give him one mulligan, and then you're kicked out of school if you don't do your homework for the rest of the time.
I may not be on the boards the next couple of days if I do it.
That's you're getting it out of the way in the first semester, though. I like it.
First week, like you can't.
If I eat them grape nuts, I might not be on the board to do the show.
You're not supposed to use your get out of jail card the first week of school. It's supposed to be towards the middle or the last week of school. That's how it all works. Then again, I mean, I didn't graduate, so why are you going to listen to me about this stuff? I'm the one assigning you the homework, and yet you're the guy with the degree. So who's the smart one about this? It's all right. All right. So what are you assigning? You assigned him a movie called Layer Cake, and it is by Guy Ritchie. And by the end of the week, he's got to watch this and he's got to review it.
That's a piece of cake. That's a piece of cake.
So when did this movie come out? What is it about?
It's Guy Ritchie. It's one of his first movies that he did. It's got Daniel Craig, your boy from James Bond. It's got Sienna Miller. It's got a great cast. It's got an alternate ending too. So if you get it on the DVD, you'll be able to watch both endings. It's a movie that came out when I was in college, 2004.
So there's a DVD of it then. Don't disappoint Matt Jones, Christian. You didn't take the job to disappoint the people that you work with. If you cared, you would do the homework.
Yeah. So Matthew Vaughn did Snatch with him. The same thing with Guy Ritchie.
All right, so it's figured out for you. See movie by Friday in the golden hour. We have to have. Now, I don't know if you've got any remotes set up for Friday. That's a way to get out of it, is to have remote set up for Friday and then have 45 would do the homework.
I'll do it. I don't have to.
It's
I can watch it Friday night.
You'll dig the movie anyways. You'll like it.
Yeah. I don't have a problem watching a movie.
Did you ever have those classes, Matt, where it's like you actually went to class that day, but you didn't read the chapter or the chapters that you were supposed to read and everybody else did, and they're having some conversation with the professor or this teacher about it. They come to you, what did you think about this? Be like, yeah, I think that Jennifer was right.
That's mostly how I did. I did show up to class. That's for sure. That was both my parents being school teachers, but so in college I was there. Man, if class was going on, I showed up to class. The teacher sees you there, that they know you're trying. It's I think I had a 3.1 or something when I got out of. I didn't graduate either, but I think when I left it was 3.1 or something. So I mean that's not bad.
Is the saying like 90% of life is showing up half the time? No, I think it's more like half of life is showing up on time.
I got a C in this. It was a Western Civilization 2 class, and it was all about reading and essay questions. And I got a C, and I remember telling the professor, "Thank you so much for that C." After the end of it, he goes, "No, you earned that C." I was like, "You dang right, I did."
You'd be proud of yourself for actually
that a
earning it.
It was a class that I didn't have any business being in it, but hey,
I think that's called a backhanded compliment.
But I showed up I was there at class every day.
And again, that's what matters. Like that's why I didn't get my degree, because I didn't show up. You know what I'm good at now? And my life is decided for me. My schedule is decided for me by the SEC and by Arkansas coaches that are scheduling non-conference and all of that. My life is decided for me. As long as I show up on time for the right thing and show up prepared. That's what class was like too. I don't know. There was something. Maybe it's because it's sports. That's the reason that I'm showing up on time. That's the reason why I'm doing the prep and actually like ready to go for each broadcast, and probably for about half of these shows, is that it's sports. And I didn't take classes in sports in school. That's what it should have been. I was on time for every game I played in high school. I was on time for every college radio show that I hosted. I just wasn't really good at showing up for algebra class or interviewing class. And that actually is one of the things I've been halfway decent at, is interviewing somebody. Didn't need to learn about it in school. Didn't even show up. That's what it was about. So thanks for showing up and doing the 3 hours with us today, Christian. I guess that means you've done some of your homework. I guess he cares a little bit. Enough, Matt. Yeah. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts. And Mason's right. We texted in about this, and this is absolutely right. If this is the kind of thing that you wanted to do your whole life, well, then it's because you have the best job that you could have ever thought you would have. And that's like I think about like Zion with the Pelicans, like not showing up on time for something specific, for a flight. This is part of your job, is to be on time for these moments. The Jimmy Butler thing, I think he planned on not showing up on time.
Yeah, he's disgruntled a little bit.
He's still getting paid. He's still getting paid.
Well, they get fined. It's just, I'm telling both you, Phil, I know you've been around a lot of baseball teams, but my 4 years at Arkansas and 4 years at the next level, I could put on one hand the people that were late. I was never late, but I can put on one hand. You start showing up late. Oh my goodness, that's not a good look. It's just, you just don't do it at that level. You show up on time and you know your assignment.
It literally is like half of life is showing up on time for whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing. And then the next half is what you do with that. And we'll break here in a moment because I think that's all I got on this. Brought to you by our friends at Pradco. If you're looking for a way to get your favorite lures from Pradco at the click of a button, LureNet.com has all the brands, Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more, and also includes exclusive deals and baits that you're not going to find anywhere else for your favorite brands. Free shipping on all orders at LureNet.com from the United States over $35. That's LureNet.com. Check it out today. And we're back to wrap the show up right after this.
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
This is halftime.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got puppies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball to NHL and UFC, head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Eat Lux your way with the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. The $5 Classic box is iconic all over. The $7 Supreme box has your decadent favorites and then some. The $9 Discovery box introduces you to your newest obsession, like cheesy dipping burritos. Introducing the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu, only at Taco Bell.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores.
To $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Well, it's fun to get back into the swing of things here on halftime. We appreciate you listening today. Maybe you listened on the Hit That Line Now app. If you haven't, it's a great place to be able to listen to all of our shows on ESPN Arkansas. You can also watch the shows. All of our video feeds are right there for you at one click of a thumb. All the podcasts are right there on our Hit That Line Now app, and it's brought to you by Taco Bell, where you can satisfy your daytime cravings with the Cantina Chicken menu lineup today at Taco Bell. Oh, let's see. We have made it through 3 hours without really even... I know we talked some about the Arkansas basketball loss to Oklahoma, but I feel like this was also a little bit of an accomplishment to get through these 3 hours without talking about it too much.
Man, it's tough. It's tough watching bad basketball. There's effort there. There's some youth, but then again, we get into like whenever the Arkansas Razorback football team was over, I was like, man, I really like our two deep, and then 39 guys leave. So you don't know if you told me Carter Knox is coming back, you told me 3's coming back, you told me 21's coming back, you told me 44's coming back, you told me Billy Rich. If you're telling me that, and then we're going out and getting some other guys, hey man, I like it. But who knows who's actually coming back?
That's right. We have no idea about that at all. But if you're able to keep the group together, and to some point, and I do think it's a talented group, just not enough of them. But it'd be interesting to see how they would be able to respond after the sort of season that we've seen up until now. But they got to respond in the next month, otherwise, they're going to be playing in the NIT. Baseball, though, that's the thing more people are texting about here. Mason's fired up about baseball season. I was able to go watch the Friday scrimmage. Couldn't be there for Saturday and Sunday, traveling with women's basketball. Kendall Diggs at first base. That was something I guess I had not thought about, but should have, because Kendall came up to Arkansas as an infielder. It wasn't more at first base because he played third, he played some second, but I also remember him taking some plays at first before. And left-handed hitter, you want to, I think a reason why he might not have been running the bases at times is just to protect that shoulder for now, but that's also a way that you could potentially protect that shoulder in the outfield, because Kendall did kind of crash into the outfield wall a few times. The reason the injury to begin with was from a play that happened at the outfield fence. But if you find the Kendall Diggs from 2023, that Kendall Diggs, the guy who, was a big run producer, that was a champion when the bases were loaded, and that's the Kendall Diggs that would hit exactly like you want a first baseman to hit. Now, I don't know. I think that there's too many hitters for just one person to lock that job down. Pepe is going to get some tries at first base, but I think Diggs is a great idea. I think he's a great idea. It's a proven SEC hitter that if he's healthy, he's going to knock in some runs for you. So that'd be my last thought on baseball for the day. Our Eastside Liquor Halftime podcast coming out shortly, thanks to C-Movie, since that's his homework for the week. And our Eastside Liquor Halftime podcast is brought to you by Eastside Liquor. You can call them at 479-452-7311. They're at 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. We appreciate their sponsorship of the Halftime podcast, going on 3 years now. And Ruskin and Zach are coming up in just a few moments, and then we'll do this all over again tomorrow. So we appreciate our guests, Pig Trail Nation's Mike Irwin, Dr. Charlie Liggett for 3 Up, 3 Down, and Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South. And it's always good talking sports with Matt Jones and with Kristen Johnston. Woo! Forgot, I haven't done my very quiet Eddie from Clarksville woo at some point. That sounded like a broken record.
We don't have
woo.
to send out an MIA from him for today, right? He's okay? All right.
He texted me earlier. He's a Chiefs fan, so he's fired up. Okay. He just might have a celebration hangover from it. That's right. For Matt Jones, for Kristen Johnston, I'm Phil. We appreciate you listening today. We'll be with you tomorrow. That's halftime. Get up, get out, and get better.
The Capital One pre-approval sale has been extended at Harry Robinson, Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit